Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
You will
relevant.
bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican police, verbal slugging.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
That's literally not true.
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. It is Podcast Thursday. I am the Recovery Addict.
You don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoopty.
You don't. You just don't do it. No one's going to buy that you're a diplomat if you're driving a hoopty either. So, welcome. It's good to have everybody here, especially Greeners, who I popped in chat just a few minutes ago, and I said, does anyone know who was first in chat? And Greeners responds with, "Well, it would help if it works right when I tell it to." But let's see, look at this one. Responds with this. Hello. Who do you think? Greeners, congratulations. First in chat again today. We're going to punish your promptness and send it to internet ownership. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility until we go live again, probably around lunchtime. So hope your morning's not busy because we need you, and we need you. All right. Welcome. Happy Thursday. My brother celebrated his 3-year soberversary yesterday. So proud of him. That is awesome. He deserves a party sound for sure. So we'll do that. That is amazing. That's just really cool. 3 years is great milestone.
Happy birthday.
And many more in the future. That is awesome. All right. How's everyone's weekend? Or not weekend, midweek night. It's a complete opposite from weekend. How's everyone's unweekend? Oh, man. It's mine was not long enough, apparently. I needed a little bit more sleep. Let's see. We should hire one of the little RAs to go through all 3 years of video to track our wins. When you say we, Kim, are you talking amongst yourselves? Like you and Greeners would hire? Because I'm pretty sure my kids would perk up at when they said hire. Like that's the word that they're gonna key in on. So if you need to begin negotiations, I might be able to arrange that. All right. Greener says, you don't print your certificate every time. Downloads a new one, pays for each one. They're free, by the way. They're 50 cents, but then you can just print one over and over and over. All right. Let's see. All good but cold up in Newfoundland, Canada, says Karen. I'm sorry, Karen. It's hot in my office, if that's any consolation. Perhaps I could send you some warmth, you could send me some cold, and then we'd both be happy and comfortable. It is an exciting day. We're super excited to kick off what I believe this is day 3. It seems like day 6, right? Honestly, if you look back, it's like we've been in this au pair trial for 6 days. No. 4 of those days were yesterday. It just went so long. It was painfully slow. We found out it took all day to realize that she doesn't remember a dang thing when the defense is asking her questions, and she remembers exactly what she told the state before when the state's asking her questions, and that's it. That's it. She's sticking to her story. She has a deal. She knows the minimum she has to do to abide by that deal and complete her part so she gets the reward that's offered, and that is all she was doing, period. So that was fun. I would say that if it was like a score, if you were keeping score between witnesses and defense team to see who won in a cross-examination, she did. Hands down, she won. We've got a couple birthdays to celebrate. We sing to everyone who's having a birthday here. If you're new here and wonder why we're singing happy birthday, that is why. Join us. If you haven't sung happy birthday to someone in quite a while, now's a great day to start because we have Chrissy and Pam Graham who are celebrating the birthdays today. So everyone stand up, take a deep breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbor, and warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. There we go. We're all ready. Everyone's warmed up. We're going to sing happy birthday to Chrissy and Pam Graham. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chrissy and Pam Graham. Happy birthday to you. Oh, we've got a late ad, says Greeners. Add Sherry Hines, 4696 to the birthday. We'll get her on this next one around. Any other late ads? Legitimate late ads? All right, here we go. Greeners, thanks for this. You're going to be a mod after all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sherry Hines, 4696. Happy birthday to you. Last call for birthdays. It's a little late. It's a little late right now. I'm just saying. We did a happy birthday update from Uncivil Law. We sang to him. To everyone who's celebrating their birthdays today, I realize there are wonderful days, but today's your special day. There are a million places you could have been and a million people you could have celebrated with, but you chose to be here with us. The privilege, pleasure, the honor, the joy is ours, and hopefully we can turn that joy back to you. Make your day a little more better, gooder, specialer. Begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, Waffle House, McDonald's, Tammy Dunlap's house in Germany, Andy's Grill, Bob Evans, and Cracker Barrel. And yes, Tammy Dunlap is in Germany, still serving the pancakes. You show up, she'll make pancakes. That's the deal. She promised. It's like a lifetime bound oath. If you show up at Tammy's house and ask for pancakes, you'll get them. Today is Greener's trial day as being a mod. I wouldn't say day. It might be like a 10-minute period before a decision can be made, or before we have enough information. If I had 50 cents for every time a Recovery Addict said I would be a mod, I would break even on my internet certificates. Help me with a drum solo. Internet certificates will cost 50 cents. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. Thanks, dancers, for doing what you do to make it so much fun in here. Happy birthday to all who are celebrating. Hope your day is absolutely wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Miss Chris, member for 31 months. Welcome to the gallery, Miss Chris. It wouldn't be the same without you here. 31 months. Where has the time gone? Man. Let's see. Natalie No also gave a gifted membership this morning. Thank you, Natalie, for your generosity, kicking things off with a little bit more green in chat. That's wonderful. We have time flies when we're watching trials. It does. It does. I tell you, it feels like I just sit down here, and next thing I know, somebody's saying, "When's lunch?" And then we come back from lunch, and my wife's knocking on the door saying, "Are you coming out for dinner, or are you just going to work through it?" That's how the day goes. It just, except for yesterday. Yesterday was different, and for those of you that were here yesterday, you know why. We had a sniveling.
When are we going to break for
a sniveling lawyer, and I'm not trying to say that in a rude way. He was a sniffling, I guess is the right word, a sniffling lawyer. It was a bit much. Hopefully his nasal issues are sorted out, and I'm sure we're going to have some more spicy, or at least some more interesting witnesses today as we proceed with the state's case. Ivy Pebbles, member for 32 months, makes you an OG. And if I didn't say it, by the way, Miss Chris, you are also an OG. Thank you. Appreciate your support, all of you, approaching the 3-year mark rapidly. We've got a few people who are already there, but it's wonderful. Appreciate it from my family to yours. Thank you for your support. We need an adults-only area in chat. I'll probably have to run it over on Top Mark Media. just dual stream to that and let it run loose. It's not monetized, so it doesn't matter. But I probably should monetize Top Mark Media. Why have I not done that? Oh well, that's a problem for another day. We are going to go to the courtroom in Virginia, where we're watching carefully to see what's going to happen this morning, as the state has now presented 6 witnesses in their case. And we've had big ones. Fun fact, Greener is a mod on Top Market Media. True, he is. We've got a couple mods over there that are mods there and not here, but appreciate all of them. It's a little lighter workload over there. We don't use that channel quite as much. But let's see. We were going to use it extensively for Brian Koberger, which didn't happen. So that was fun. Where am I at? Am I on the right? Let's go here. Can't see a dang thing. I need a bigger screen. That's what I need. Or it needs to be closer to me. So we'll get that sorted out. All right, we are waiting for audio. No audio yet. Okay, we'll keep that ready. What we've had so far in the trial is this. We've had 911 calls. We've had body cam, police. We had the medical examiner, and we had the au pair, the co-defendant. That is all that's happened so far in the trial. And we are expected to have this trial last 4 to 5 weeks. Maybe 4.5 to 5.5 weeks now after seeing yesterday. What else do they have? What else do they want to present? The state's mentioned that they can present this whole case without the au pair. They didn't need her, apparently. But the plea deal she got, the sweet plea deal she got, is an indication that maybe that's not exactly true. I think they did actually need her a little bit. Let's see if we can trying to get everything fixed the way I'd like it. Boom, boom. 12 hours ago today. There it is. Boom. Okay. All right. Questions, answers, or maybe neither. Let's see. Also, they arrested her after police went back to check the house and noticed she was all moved into the master bedroom. Here's your sign. They got her initially because of the second shot. Then it unraveled. Yeah, the second shot, the angles and everything, that second shot was the doozy. What is her plea deal? She cooperates, and she gets time served, and is deported back to Brazil. And the primary charges dropped, secondaries dropped, primaries amended. So basically, as soon as she's done with this, she just gets to go home. Which shot killed him? The first one was a shot to the head, which did not kill him. He was up and moving after that. It could have been fatal, but it had not killed him yet. The second shot was to the spine and through the lungs, and I think even the heart. So it was most definitely a fatal shot. I believe her, though. Her story seems very realistic. So after this trial, she's free. Pretty much, but I would say pretty much because the terms of the deal still say the judge has to agree to this. I think it's rare that you have a prosecutor give a deal like this, a cooperating witness a deal, and they sign it and it's all on board and they comply with it and do everything they were told to do, and then have a judge say, nope, that's not going to happen. I don't think they're going to yank the rug out from under that. Do you know what that would do to the prosecution in any future deal they were trying to make? Do you know how badly that would undermine their credibility in being able to negotiate in good faith with someone? So, no. First shot was from him. Second shot was her. Good morning, MS 10272. The deal gives a range of punishment. It does, but it also has like a rider that's like time served. Testimony yesterday will affect the judge's sentencing. Yeah, I believe it's the same judge, right? So unless Judge A comes in and says that's not going to happen. All right. With her demeanor, I've honestly been thinking it's very possible that she's the mastermind. She seems very demanding and bossy. That's an interesting scenario if you let that play out. Expand that into all the facts of the case and say, all right, if she was the one that actually did this, would he either be the helper, Or is it possible that she was entirely setting this up so that he would not be involved at all? But I don't know. It seems, no, I don't think she could be the mastermind. I don't see that. He's the law enforcement officer. He understands the investigation. He knows how to do things so that it won't get caught. He knows what the investigators will be looking for on a crime scene. At least he's got a little more knowledge there than someone else. I realize he was IRS investigator, not necessarily CSI. But I'm not sure if she was orchestrating. She might have been the driving force behind, hey, let's get her out of the picture. I could see that being the case if she was encouraging him to go this direction. How come she was arrested first? Because according to the story the police told and believed, at least initially, the first shot was fired in the defense of Christine, the wife that was murdered. Because the story the police were told was that the wife was being stabbed by this man, this unknown intruder who had come into the house. And that shot was to defend or protect the wife, unsuccessfully, tragically. But as things unraveled and they started getting into the website information, now we've got it all plays out, and it's a different story altogether. The heart will make you do some crazy things. That's true. I do appreciate all those who click the like button. It helps the channel. It is free. It's a good thing to do it right now before everything starts off. And it's not indication of whether or not you like the audio or that you like the witness on the stand or anything else. It's just a nice way to say thank you to the channel, and it helps us out. It gives the YouTube algorithm a little boost and said, hey, look over here. If somebody's looking for this trial, suggest this one. And we'd like to have a few new friends here. That would be wonderful. So appreciate all you who do that. Do we know for sure who stabbed Christine? We only have that from the au pair. Now, you could probably deduce that from some of the evidence on scene and who was covered in blood and where and how much. But that story also, I mean, the blood could also have been there because of the first aid that was being rendered at the advice of the 911 operator with the direct pressure on the neck and things like that. So how did they come to find the website? That we have not heard yet. Unless it came out about through the au pair that she flipped and they're like, whoa, website, which is likely because they hadn't even arrested. She was like in jail for a year before she flipped. And so unless they didn't know anything about it until then, I mean, that's probably the most likely thing, that it all came from the au pair. They must have found out about the website when they checked out the victim, Rob. I don't know if they would. If he doesn't bring a phone or a device and he accesses this in sort of a discreet manner at his own home, I don't know why they would find that. And they would just suspect that he was just a creep. This reminds you a little bit of the Ayden case. Possibly from Christine's laptop. But even if they found it from Christine's laptop, the clues that they left because of how they accessed the website were such that it would indicate that on at first glance that Christine was the one who did it. So unless you could find a discrepancy when the website was being accessed at a time when Christine could not possibly have accessed it. Let's see. Let's do this one. Trying to get everything synced up here. This is an interesting case, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about the investigation here, because there are some questions that will be raised about the investigation. Not everyone on the investigatory team was on the same page as this went forward. So, okay, so we are behind on that one by about 30 seconds. Want to know why they're sealing so much evidence. What's up with that? Is it because he was IRS? No, Virginia. That I think that has almost nothing to do with it. What does have a lot to do with it is the fact that for modesty reasons, we've got a victim who is nude. Obviously, medical examiner photos are done with the victim's nude as well, and very graphic. We've got a surviving child dependent of one of the victims. This is, for their sake, it might be good if, pick the last pictures they have of their mom aren't what was shown on the news when they were, 7 years old. So it could be for reasons that way. And honestly, a lot of those would cause problems with YouTube, like the terms of service type stuff. So, can we explain to this defense lawyer what catfishing really is? It annoyed me beyond belief. The usual suspect. Yes, he did sort of. He was close. I will give him this. He was close, but in the defense open, he described catfishing as, or maybe it was to a witness. No, I think it was his open. He described catfishing as using someone else's device without their permission. Taking their device and pretending to be them. I'm like, well, what it really is when you create a fake account and you're reaching out to somebody else, pretending to connect with them as somebody else. So he's sort of right, but the way the defense lawyer put it, it was more of like a technical or like a physical crime you commit when you take their device, and that just wasn't quite there. He missed just a little bit. I don't blame him. I mean, of all the terms you don't understand well, catfishing is a great one to not understand very well. All right, I've got to focus for just a minute. Sorry, so if I can't monitor chat, give me a minute as we sync things up. I have to watch for an event, a recognizable event. You should understand it if it's your defense. You'd think you'd put a little more effort into maybe at least, go to Urban Dictionary or something and just get a surface level understanding. That would be nice. In other words, he hit a double instead of a home run. Yes, I would say base hit. Base hit is what we got out of that. Lawyer, I missed his update. Let's see, a couple people said he was not impressed with the cross-examination. Honestly, if the defense attorney's sick, maybe that plays into it. We should give him a little bit of space if he's like fighting the flu. Right now, he's just not right in the head because the flu was a doozy this year. But it didn't seem like that. It seemed like he was trying the same tactic over and over, trying to get it to work, and it wouldn't work. She was on to him. And he didn't have any other tools. He hadn't prepped anything else. It's like he didn't understand that if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to come at this a different direction, or I'm going to have to try a different tactic. Instead, it was just ask her again. Maybe it'll ask her again. Ask her again. And she's like, no, I'm not. And she used the court rules, right, as a shield. She's like, I'm not allowed to guess. I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know. And it wasn't I'm refusing to answer it. Sometimes it came across that way, like I'm refusing to answer, and the judge and the defense was like, hey, she has to, Judge Maker. She's like, but I don't know which one. So I can't guess. Okay, we're gonna start here in just a second here. Hold please. Hear ye. We are not back in Dedham.
Ask where I preside. Please be seated and come to order. Swear affirm to accurately take and transcribe the proceedings in this case to the best of your ability under penalty of law. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Carroll, are we ready for the jury?
If I may,
Yes.
I'd like to address a preliminary matter.
Sure. Do you? Oh, you don't have to approach. They're not here. That's fine. That's okay.
I'm going to go through approximately 80 photos today
Okay.
with my very witnesses
Sure.
throughout the course of the morning. Mr. Carroll has had the opportunity to look at those photos.
Could you just use the microphone? I'm sorry.
Please. 80 photos this morning. They're all
Mr. Carroll has had the opportunity
Sealed.
to review those photos, but would like his client to do so. I
Okay.
believe it would take approximately 5 minutes, just because he's seen the pictures before. It's just understanding which ones I'm offering. If we could have 5 minutes for him to look at the photos, it would eliminate the need for me to say, offer into evidence,
Well,
offer into
that's
evidence.
something to do before trial. Court starts at 10. We have the jury ready.
Yes, ma'am, I did attempt to do that on a number of occasions. I
Zing.
don't think Mr. Carroll was able to get them to his client, which is the issue. On Mr. Carroll's behalf, I am asking that if we can take a few minutes for his client to review them, it would expedite the process of admitting them into evidence. They would be able to admit without
If
objection.
you could do it right
in
now,
bulk.
right here, I'm not going anywhere. We're ready to start trial.
As long as he can see them, Judge, that's the thing.
And they're connected, and I can scroll through them on his screen right now.
If that's what you want to do.
I feel like I have to.
Okay.
Okay.
I would prefer that this happens before trial. I would prefer that this had happened before we're ready with the jury sitting behind,
Getting to
waiting
see
for us.
a little of the judge's personality here.
Do you have restitution?
Give me just a second. We're still
Just let me know when you're ready.
Syncing everything perfectly. There we go. Now we're good. Doing what we can to bring you the best audio and video in this trial. The judge is respecting the time of the jury, and we like that in a judge. A jury is the jury members are required to be there. It is a law. The judge orders them to show up. You know, they don't get to choose whether or not to be there, and they didn't volunteer. This isn't something where they're like, hey, put my, some countries do that. Broken Baker, can tell you a little bit about that. But these jurors don't volunteer. They're literally pulled from their lives at some level of inconvenience, and said, you will be here. And these are the times you'll be here, and this is what you'll do. Because of that, the judge is mindful of that and wants to be respectful. I like that. I don't like judges who play with the jury just like, whatever. They're our tool. We will use them as they see fit. Take the time you need. I'll bring the jury in. They've got nowhere to go. They're going to be here all day. Don't like that attitude at all. But liked her a lot with depth versus heard. I'm hoping to get a little more from the judge like we got this morning. I'd like that. More personality from her as she interacts with the lawyers. Obviously, we're going to see it more when the jury is not present, because she doesn't want to risk the possibility of making the jury think that she dislikes one person or the other, or favors one over the other. But in the morning, before the jury's there, judge can be spicy. Judge A can be angry with attorneys, yet is so calm and collected about it, too. Her demeanor is just perfect. Camila says, I've learned that Norwegian are the most punctual people in the world, not Swiss, unless you are RA. I'm not actually Norwegian. Do you know that? I thought I was. My grandpa was Norwegian, or at least I thought it was my grandpa. Turns out he's not my grandpa. My grandpa is Welsh. Different grandpa. Didn't know that until I was an adult. But I did go visit my relatives in Norway a couple times. They don't know either. Anyway, that's a fun story for another day. It's true. They Norwegian relatives don't know. They might be watching them. Maybe they found out just right now. I'm sorry if that's the case. I don't think they watch the channel. Let's see. I watched a news station report on this trial. The reporter said it was different since the Depp trial wasn't live streamed. I was like, what? Was the reporter living under a rock? It's about 3.5, 4 years ago. It was definitely live streamed. Judge A was in the military with prior service. She's very into court running on time. Emily, that could be instilled deeply into her MO. Cody Hines, surprise! Surprise. Yeah. Blue stars, thank you, welcome.
And that one would not be displayed. We stopped at the last, at 156.
All right. And Mr. Carey, then you're not going to have any objections to any of these photos coming into evidence?
No, you're right.
Okay, all right. That'll be fine. We're ready for the jury then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If these are photos we're going to be seeing a lot of, the camera crew on the ground needs to set a pan tilt zoom locked position on the monitor that's going to display them so we can cut to them. Because so far, the time it's taken for the camera crew to get focused on the display to show the pictures, we don't get to see them because the prosecutor just flips through them like she's fast forwarding through a PowerPoint. And we just don't get to see anything. Although the media has released some photos from yesterday. And thank you for sending those to me, by the way. COVID brought me to law too.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right, your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The Commonwealth would call Officer Kenner Fortner.
Fortner, Officer
Yes.
Fortner.
Jody, welcome. Excited to get things kicked off this morning. Kelly H., thanks for the super sticker. First witness of the day is witness number 7 in the trial for the state. I heard Kenner Fortner. I'm guessing common spelling.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
The jury has not been asked if they've followed the instructions. She just assumes they have every night.
Thank you. Good morning, officer.
Good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. Can you please state your name and spell it for the court record?
Kenner Fortner, Kenner Fortner.
All right. And how are you employed?
I'm currently employed as a sergeant with the Fairfax County Police Department.
How long have you been with Fairfax County?
I've been with Fairfax County for 10 years.
Were you assigned to a particular unit in 2023?
I was a crime scene detective in 2023.
All right. And were you in that role on February 24th, 2023?
I was.
Okay. On that date, did you respond to an incident on Stablebrook Way?
I did.
Why were you called out?
I was called out to assist with the scene documentation of a reported homicide.
And what was your role in that investigation?
I took scene photographs.
Okay. And let me hear from you. What did you observe upon your arrival?
When I arrived on scene, the scene had already been secured by patrol officers. Christine Banfield had been transported to the hospital, and the only person remaining within the scene was Joseph Ryan, who had been declared deceased.
So let me start you with some photographs. Judge, if I can offer into evidence Commonwealths 80 through 89 and have those published to the witness,
All right.
the jury, and the gallery.
Through 89 in evidence and can be published to the jury and gallery.
And the gallery. That means us.
No objection. Good.
All right, thank you. So starting with this first picture, Commonwealth's 80, starting outside of the home on Stablebrook Way, how many cars did you observe?
There were 4 cars of interest.
Okay, and this picture here, what do we see?
This is a black Hyundai Tucson.
Were you able to later determine who it was primarily driven by?
It was a government-owned vehicle registered to the IRS, driven by Brendan Banfield.
All right, thank you. And in this photograph, we see 2 more vehicles. Can you tell me about them?
Yes, so in the driveway, the vehicle parked in the left spot of the driveway is a navy blue Volkswagen ID that was registered to Christine Banfield. The silver Jeep Cherokee on the right parking space is registered to a Constance Ryan.
All right. And this particular vehicle, this photograph was taken in your shop, is that correct?
This was taken in the crime scene vehicle bay. It was originally parked in the cul-de-sac.
Okay, and do we know who this car was registered to or driven by?
This vehicle was registered to a Brendan Banfield.
Okay.
Is that 82, just for the record, when you show?
Yes, ma'am, I apologize.
Oh, that's fine.
So this was 82,
Okay, thank you.
the white Ford Fusion. All right, moving into the basement of the home.
Just a little content
Is it
warning.
entirely below ground or does it have an above ground exit?
There may be
The
some
basement exit
graphic
is
photos.
a walkout style, which is level to the ground.
Okay, and can you describe the layout of the basement?
Yes, so if you are standing at the basement stairs, directly to your left at this doorway here leads to an unfinished storage area. If you can continue forward a few feet, you'd be standing in the living room area of the basement, which also included a desk and computer. To the right of the living room area is a bedroom. And then to the left of the living room area was a home gym workout area. And then if you orient yourself to where you're now looking at the workout area with the living room behind you, along the left wall was a bathroom. And then finally, another door which led to the same storage unfinished area.
So in your walk through the basement, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. Looking at this photograph here, Commonwealth's 83. Can you tell me, was there a gate at the bottom of the basement stairs?
There was.
Okay. From the photograph, it appears to be about hip height. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my hips anyway. Perhaps someone taller, it's lower. But did it look like it was intended to
Fits me in
serve a
the
purpose?
shins.
At the time that I found it is as it was in this photo.
All right. Did you notice a lock on the door at the top of the basement stairs?
Yes.
Okay, so looking at Commonwealth's 84 here, is that a photograph of the lock that you observed?
That is a photograph of the lock that I observed.
Okay, was it engaged when you saw it?
No, it's as it was.
Okay. Moving up to the first floor, there was a kitchen and a living area?
Yes.
Okay, so looking at Commonwealth's 85, is this a photograph of the angle of the living area from the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay. In this photograph, can I draw your attention to
It's very colorful.
the window area and the stationary object in front of it? Can
Yes.
you tell me what that was?
That was a bar cart style counter with 2 bar stools in front of it.
Okay. What, if anything, did you find in the kitchen?
There was a laptop on the kitchen island.
So here in Commonwealth's 86, are you able to see the laptop?
Yes, it's on the right-hand
Is
corner.
it the black object here in the corner?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Did you find what was later identified as Christine Banfield's cell phone?
Yes.
Looking at Commonwealth's 87, is this the bar cart you previously described?
It is. This is the back side of the bar cart.
Okay, and where did you find the phone?
The phone is going to be in the middle top drawer of this bar cart.
All right, so looking at Commonwealth's 88, is that the drawer you're talking about extended?
Yes.
Okay, and what do we see there in the middle of the drawer?
It's going to be the cell phone in question.
All right, Commonwealth's 89, is that the cell phone?
Yes.
And Commonwealth's 90, is this the back side of the phone that you found?
Yes.
90 we hadn't put in evidence yet, so I took
Oh, I
that off the
apologize.
screen. So do you want 90 in?
I do.
And I understand there's no objections on 90 in evidence. Okay, go ahead. Thank you, Shannon.
Judge, I would then offer Commonwealth's 91 through 97 into evidence.
All right, again, I understand there's no objection. Okay, all
And I
right.
apologize, Judge, I think I had said 98 originally and was just not clear in my speech.
Okay,
Thank you. All
90
right.
to 97, okay.
Detective Fortner, Did you have the opportunity to then move upstairs in the home?
Yes.
All right, and did you take photographs of the bedroom belonging to
This is the au
Juliana?
pair.
Yes.
Okay, is this that bedroom?
This is her bedroom.
And how did you identify this bedroom as hers?
There's a Brazilian flag, excuse me, above the bed, and I also was able to locate an expired Virginia driver's license for Juliana on a dresser.
All right. Commonwealth's 92, is this still her bedroom?
Yes.
What is it that we see on the dresser to the left?
There are hygiene products.
Her personal effects?
Yes.
All right. Commonwealth's 93, is this Juliana's closet?
This is.
All right, was there anything that caught your attention in that closet?
Some sneaky stuff.
There were red lingerie-style clothing items, and then the yellow T-shirt with the green border on the sleeves.
It's like a Brazil soccer uniform.
Did you have the opportunity to look for any signs of forced entry in the home?
I did.
Okay, and did you make any observations that would have indicated there was a struggle at any other area in the home other than the primary bedroom?
I did not locate any obvious signs.
Thank you. Did you have the opportunity to return to the home on October 13th, 2023?
I did.
Why were you there on that date?
For a subsequent search warrant.
Okay, and on that date, did you again photograph the house?
I did.
Did you inspect the bedroom that had been Juliana's?
Yes.
Directing you to Commonwealth's 94, is this the same room?
This is the same room.
How were you able to identify it?
The Brazilian flag above the bed.
Did you notice that anything had changed?
There were no longer any items in the closet.
How about anywhere else in the room? Were her personal effects still on that dresser, if you recall?
I do not recall the dresser.
Okay. Did you eventually find her clothes?
I did.
Where did you find them?
They had been moved to the primary bedroom's closet.
Commonwealth's 95, is this the primary bedroom closet?
Yes.
And was there anything that you saw in the closet that made it clear to you they were Juliana's clothes?
There were the red lingerie-style clothing items and the yellow T-shirt with the green hem on the sleeves.
All right, and Commonwealth's
not seeing the
96,
T-shirt. Oh, there it is.
another angle of the same closet?
Yes.
And we see the yellow and green shirt there on the second row?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Had there been any other changes in the primary bedroom?
They had gotten new flooring, new bedroom furniture, and pictures that had once featured Brendan and Christine had been taken down and replaced with Brendan and Juliana together.
So showing you Commonwealth's 97, is this the primary bedroom?
This is.
In October of 2023, 8 months after the murders.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's a bad choice.
Zoom in here.
I mean, purple.
Is this one of the photographs you were speaking of?
It is.
Okay.
There's something
And
slinky
you
on the
would see
bed, too.
others in the room?
Yes. That is a second photo.
Okay. All right. Detective Fortner, I don't have any other questions for you. Please answer any directed to you by Mr. Carroll.
All right, cross-examination.
Detective Fortner, there's just a couple of questions based on some of the things that you said, not too many. Commonwealth's number 94 is obviously a picture, and in a moment it shows something, but there was questions asked about you doing an investigation as to any other signs of struggle or forced entry in the house other than the master bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what would you do to come to the conclusion that there was none of those things?
So I would inspect all of the doors to see if there are any obvious signs or damage to the framing of the door, which I did not find. There were no debris found on the ground to indicate anything had broken. In terms of the furniture in the house, I didn't see anything turned over in an unusual manner to indicate there was struggle or forced entry anywhere.
When did you do that in relation to the incident?
So when I first arrived on scene, my primary task was taking scene photos as everything was, and as I was doing that, I was also checking those areas.
Okay, so this happened instantaneously on February 24th?
Upon my arrival, yes.
And when was that?
Just after 9 a.m.
Okay. And so at that point, had you had any sort of a briefing as to what the expectations were with this crime scene?
Just that it was a report of a homicide.
Okay. Was there anything that suggested a break-in or anybody say there was going to be a break-in?
No, no one had indicated that.
Okay. So this is just something that you do as part of your crime scene duties?
Correct, just documenting.
Okay. And it wasn't surprising for you after you kind of heard more about the case that there weren't forced entry or other signs of struggle anywhere other than the master bedroom?
I wouldn't expect to see struggle anywhere other than the master bedroom.
Okay. Now, the places where you chose to take pictures, were you directed to take certain pictures, or do you just go ahead and just take as many pictures as you can and then see where it goes from there?
So my ultimate goal when I'm taking scene photographs are to take overall photographs to indicate everything as best I can. Typically these come from the four corners of the room from different angles. And then if there's an area of interest, I then come in and take mid-range and then close-up pictures of those items or areas of interest.
And that was those were your decisions, I guess, was the question I was asking.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
All right, redirect.
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Just witness subject to recall?
He is not.
Do you need to? Okay, you're free to go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your next witness.
Detective O.J. Falk.
Detective Falk.
Careful how you say that.
And Your Honor, if you will terminate the display.
It is.
Thank you.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Was that the judge who just sniffled?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Is that a 3-button suit?
Good morning, sir. Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
My name is Colonel
Owen
Mustard.
J. Falk IV. Falk spelled F as in Frank, A-U-L-K.
Okay,
Thank
sorry,
you.
I had it wrong.
Directing
Sir,
your
my apologies.
attention to February 24th of 2023. On that date, how were you employed?
I was employed as a crime scene detective with the Fairfax County Police Department.
Are you now retired?
I am retired.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Taking you back to that day, did you have the opportunity to investigate a vehicle later determined to belong to Joseph Ryan?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. What were you able to see upon your inspection of that vehicle?
Within the vehicle on the driver's floorboard, there were 2 red cellular phones laying underneath the brake and the gas pedal.
All right. I'm going to show you a picture that's been marked as Commonwealth 155. I'm going to ask that that be admitted into evidence along with 156 and displayed to the jury and the gallery.
No objection, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Any
Detective
guesses
Falk,
on what
do
his
you
child's
recognize
name
this
is?
photo?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those the telephones that you observed in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And directing you to 156, is that another photograph of the phones?
It is with the door open.
Okay. And were those items collected as evidence to your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am, they were.
Okay. Had you disturbed them prior to taking these photos?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so that's where you found them.
Yes.
All right. That's all I have for this witness, Judge. Thank you.
All right, cross-examination.
We pulled you
All
out of
right, is
retirement
this witness subject to recall?
He is not.
All right. You're-
for 2
you're free to
pictures.
go, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Owen J. Falk IV can go home and continue playing with his son, Owen J. Falk V.
All right, your next witness.
Assume,
Detective Terry Leach.
Assume he's got a son.
Detective Leach.
A tradition. Bold suit, Colonel Mustard. To the library. Fastest witness ever. It was quick. It was quick. Already on witness number 9. Those phones were on the floorboard of his car, right? Is that correct? Or excuse me, of Joe's car.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
It's Terry Leach, Terryleach.
How are you currently employed?
With the Fairfax County Police.
Are you assigned to a particular unit?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do for that unit?
I'm a detective with the Major crime scene unit.
All right. How long have you held that position?
I've been with the crime scene unit for 22 years, with the last 8.5 in major crimes.
All right. Were you employed in that role on February 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On that date, did you respond to an incident at Stablebrook Way?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately what time did you arrive?
It was approximately 9:44 a.m.
All right. And who was on scene when you arrived, if you recall?
When I got on scene, there was several patrol units, homicide detectives. For my unit, there was Detective Falk, Detective Fortner, Sergeant Fortner now, and Detective Szyminski and myself.
All right.
That
What
swivel
was your
chair is
role in
going to
this
wear out today.
investigation?
I was assigned as the lead crime scene detective.
And what are the general responsibilities of a lead crime scene detective?
The lead crime scene detectives is the primary liaisons between the crime scene section and the lead homicide detective. We're also responsible for managing the scene, delegating out tasks. We also work if there's any needs for any more personnel or equipment. We go with our supervisors. And after we clear scenes, we're responsible for all the evidence handling, documentation. If there's any lab submissions or anything like that, we take care of it.
And that role carries through to today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if we want evidence, it's coming from you, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. When you entered the Banfield's primary bedroom on that day, February 24th, 2023, what were your initial observations?
When you first go into the bedroom, on your left-hand side would be I call it a sitting area. It's like a little side room. We're separated from the main bedroom area by a see-through fireplace. In the main room, you had a bed, and it had a nightstand on each side. To your immediate right would be a long dresser with a TV on top of it. On the far wall was a tall dresser. On that same wall as the dresser with the TV was the double doors that led into the primary bathroom, which then had a closet off of it.
Okay. How did you and your team go about documenting this scene?
Once we did our initial walkthrough, we first did photography. We did all our photos, and then I had Detective Szyminski go through with the Faro laser scanner.
All right. Tell me about that Faro laser scanner. What does it do?
The Faro is a laser device, and it sits on top of a tripod. And what it does, it uses LiDAR technology. It will spin in 360 degrees. As it's spinning, it'll do laser measurements. It'll do millions of points of measurement. And then once that's completed, it'll go around one more time, and it'll take photos. Then when we post-process it back at the office with software developed just for that scanner, it will create 3D models and 2D models. The 2Ds are called orthos, and all that is, it's a bird's eye view of what the scanner built.
You shared one of those orthos with me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'm going to ask at this point in time to admit into evidence Commonwealth 98 under seal and publish it to the witness and the jury.
All right, no objection, correct? Okay, 98 under seal.
Can you see the Faro on your?
Yes, ma'am. It's the ortho scan of this second floor.
Okay, so help us orient, and it's a really busy picture, you would agree?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot going on because this is an interpretation of what was actually present at the scene from this angle and aerial view. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you can see where I've kind of zoomed us in here to this black rectangle at the top that my cursor is on, what is that?
That's going to be the foyer to the main floor, the bottom floor. What happened is why it's black is the Pharaoh is a line of sight.
So it drops down. It's 2 stories, right?
It's a 2-story, it's a very tall foyer, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that's the stairs to the left, right there. That would be the stairs coming up from the landing.
Okay. Tell me about, on the left of our screen, this bedroom here.
That was the upstairs bedroom.
Okay. And if I zoom out a little bit and reorient us, what's going on in this bedroom in the far left lower corner?
That's the Banfield's daughter's room.
Okay. And this middle bedroom?
Guest room.
Okay. So taking us back out to the hallway and then shifting over, which, we're going to do it like that. What room is this?
And that's going to be the primary suite, primary bedroom.
Okay. And that's the far right of Commonwealth's 98. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In looking at this bedroom, we have a bed. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You spoke of a dresser. Is that this object that my cursor is on here?
That's the dresser with the TV on it, ma'am.
Okay. And this area that I'm cursoring over, is that the passageway into the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which would then make this room a bathroom. Is that correct?
Cursoring over.
Okay. Now that we've oriented ourselves, was Joe Ryan's body still on scene when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And approximately how long did his body remain on scene while you did your work?
It was there for several hours.
Okay. And is that how long it took you to document the scene?
We had to get a search warrant, doing the scene documentation, waiting for the medical investigator to arrive on scene.
Okay. When was his body removed?
Later in the day. It was that day, but as soon as the medical investigator arrived.
Okay, but your work continued after his body was removed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to offer exhibits 99 through 101 under seal.
All right, and no objection, correct? Okay. 99, 100, and 101 under seal.
Thank you. And if they can be shared with the witness and the jury. All right, starting here with Commonwealth's 99. This photo depicts what? What do we see here?
And that's going to be a photo from the bathroom back out into the main area of the bedroom, and that is Joe Ryan's body.
Okay, is this how the scene looked when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before you had begun processing any of the items that you eventually collected?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commonwealth's 100, is this a photograph of Joseph Ryan's body?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what observations did you make about his body upon your arrival?
Upon arrival, I was documenting was first that his shirt was pulled up. There was a chest seal on the left side. The right hand was in that position as you see it here, along with his right hand. The pants were unbuttoned and disheveled in the front. Right leg was straight, and the left leg is underneath the bed with a purple pillow over it.
Did you do any investigation to determine whether or not that was the position of his body when first responders arrived on scene?
Once I had access to the body-worn camera, I watched that to see what the officers originally came into. And when they first came in, the shirt was down and the hands were across his chest.
All right.
Seems strange to have someone pass away in that
Looking
position
at this
from a gunshot
photo,
wound.
Around Joseph Ryan's head, what is his head on? Let's start with that.
His head was resting on the dog bed.
Okay. And there's a checkered cloth there as well. Were you able to determine what that was?
Underneath it was a pair of pajama bottoms, that's what I refer to as pajama bottoms, and a pair of black underwear.
All right. And tell me about this blood stain that we see immediately below, on this photo, Joseph Ryan's head?
Talking about the one ma'am on the carpet?
Yes.
There's a flow pattern. It flowed from Mr. Ryan's head, flowed across and down onto the floor where it started to pool and collect.
All right. Was there blood anywhere else on Mr. Ryan's body that you observed?
There was blood on his face, hands. There was some on his clothes. There was some on his chest, arms.
All right. Did you notice anything about the bed frame? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit if I can. Here. What is that mark?
Bed frame had chipping. It's a laminate material over the bed frame, and you can see where pieces were broke off. There's just one large piece. And later when we continued on investigating, you could take your fingers in that area and you could pull the laminate in that area.
I'm going to move you to Commonwealth's 101. Is this another angle of the same area of the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, we see the chip in the bed frame here, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You indicated Joseph Ryan's legs were under the bed.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Judge, I would move to admit photographs 102 through 123.
Yet another case for this judge with a
All
chipped
right,
bed
there's no
frame.
objection, correct.
Insignificant.
All right, 102 to 123 in evidence. Thank you.
All right, looking at Commonwealth's 102. It appears that the scene has changed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what has happened since the last photograph?
Since the last photograph, Joe Ryan's body was removed. The blankets and things that you saw on the floor, they were picked up and moved.
And what did you observe now that the items had been removed on the bed frame itself?
On the bed frame itself, if you come over here to if you're viewing the photo, it'll be on the left-hand side. We found one blood stain on the side of the frame.
All right, I'm going to move then to Commonwealth's 103. Is that the area where you observed the blood stain?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be to the right of the ruler.
And we're going to zoom in one more time. 104.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the blood stain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you later send a swab of that suspected blood out for testing as item 71?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Looking at Commonwealth's 105. We're back in time before the items were picked up, but let's talk about those items that you collected. What was in this pile of fabric that we see here?
I had 2 blankets, a sheet, and a towel. The blankets, one was a real dark blue with a white Sherpa on one side. The other blanket was blue on both sides. Sheet was white with stripes, and then you had a towel.
Okay, let's talk about the blue blanket with the white Sherpa. Directing you to Commonwealth's 106. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what you've done with it here.
This is back at our facility to document it. I hung it before we could do photos of it and document the blood stains on it. What you see is the top part would be what was near the dresser, and the stuff you see, the stains you see down towards the bottom, was what would be towards the foot of the bed.
And those stains appear gray in this photo. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's look at Commonwealth's 107. Is that the reverse of the blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the Sherpa side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, the dark marks we see, what are those?
Blood stains.
Commonwealth's 108. What is this object?
And that would be the sheet.
Okay, and again, where is this photo taken?
This photo was taken at our facility.
Okay. The marks we see on the sheet, what are those?
More blood stains, ma'am.
All right, and there was a lighter blue blanket you mentioned?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commonwealth's 109. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, what did you observe on the blanket?
More blood stains.
Okay, so let's talk about Commonwealth's 110. What is this object?
That's the towel, ma'am.
Okay, so again, where was this towel located?
On the floor with all those bed linens near the foot of the bed.
Did you happen to, in your review of the body-worn camera, see where the towel was when first responders arrived?
It was a little bit further away from the bed. When the first responders came, you could see the bed linens and things from firemen, patrol officers trying to do life-saving. The linens and stuff started to roll and move towards the bed more.
Was this towel on Christine Banfield?
No, ma'am.
Does this towel have any evidence of heavy staining or blood absorption?
In my opinion, no, ma'am.
So these blankets were moved as the officers addressed Christine Banfield's injuries and attempted to rescue Joe Ryan. Could the blankets that we saw a moment ago have transferred blood to the carpet as they were moved?
Yes.
Were they saturated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there was a lot of blood on those items.
Yes, ma'am.
Could have ended up on the carpet as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So looking at the carpet, can you approximate here where Christine Banfield's body was found? This is Commonwealth's 111.
I used body-worn camera. I watched the body-worn camera to determine that. And it would be the stain that you see on the right-hand side. That was the vicinity of her head.
What did you find when you removed the carpet relative to these stains?
What I ended up doing was we pulled the carpet back. Our question was we wanted to see how far down the stains would go. And when we did that, we found that the stain on the left-hand side, underneath the carpet is a foam pad, and then you got the subfloor. The blood soaked through the carpet, through the foam pad, and then onto the subfloor, and created another stain there. The stain on the right, same scenario again, is soaking down through. But when we got to the subfloor, there was just a little stain, a much smaller stain than what we found from the stain on the left-hand side.
So to summarize, there was more blood deposited in the stain on the left-hand side than the right.
Yes, ma'am.
You need your microphone, Mr. Carroll, I cannot hear you.
Objection to characterization.
I would object to Ms. Sand's conclusion as to what the detectives just commented on in terms of her question.
What's the objection?
Facts, not
Well, I
evidence.
believe it's
Leading?
it's without foundation, and I believe that she's leading.
No, overruled. All right, good, continue.
Let's talk about the areas of the carpet that you had tested. Looking at this photograph, and we'll zoom in just a moment, but did you have either of these two large stains tested?
No, ma'am.
Okay, why not?
When I presented to the state lab with the evidence that I had, they didn't see the probative value in it.
All right. Did they give you any explanation for why?
Because her body was there.
Okay.
You'd expect to find
So
her
looking
blood
at
there.
Commonwealth's 112, did you take swabs from the stains on the carpet that we see here?
Yes, ma'am. If you take where the scale is at and come below it.
All right, that large
Yes, ma'am.
stamp, if you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and was that item 42?
That was item 42. I did another swab, which would have been item 43. If you come above the scale, you'll see another stain in there. What I did is I took another sample from the center of it.
And when we're talking about these two stains, to distinguish, we've got 43, and the shape of 43 is different from 42, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how would you describe 43 as a stain?
That's a stain to me. It was passive blood droplets falling down onto the carpet.
And what was different about 42? What kind of stain was that?
42 was one large concentrated stain.
Thank you. I'm going to direct your attention to Commonwealth's 113. Did you find a knife?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was the knife found?
The knife was found underneath the blankets, between the edge of the blankets and the bed. And the only thing we could see when we arrived was the handle. And the knife was sitting on its backside, so it was blade up. And then the handle was towards the bed.
Did your review of the body-worn camera tell you anything about the final position of the knife?
This is not the original position of the knife.
Okay, so what did you observe on body-worn? I think we've all seen it too and talked about it, but what did you observe on body-worn?
On body-worn camera, the blankets were, if you're viewing this photo, the blankets have been more to the left. The knife was completely exposed, and you could see during the life-saving that officers and firemen stepped on the knife a few times, and they got kicked and moved around as they were trying to work.
Okay. Did you collect this item?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you send it to the lab for testing as item 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to have you look at Commonwealth's 114. Is that the knife and the photograph that accompanied it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So let's talk about guns. Commonwealth's 115. Did you observe any weapons at the scene other than the knife?
Yes, ma'am. There was 2 handguns.
Okay, can you describe those 2 items for me?
One gun was a Glock 19M with a light kit on it, and the second one was a Glock 43X.
All right, is this photograph of the 19M?
Yes, ma'am.
And the flashlight, you mentioned the light on it that you said, is that the red ring that
Yes.
we see at the end?
Yes, ma'am. It's the light kit. It's a flashlight underneath the barrel of the gun.
Okay. Were you able to identify who owned that weapon?
It was Mr. Brendan Banfield's duty weapon.
Where was it located upon your arrival?
When I arrived, it was on the left side of the bed, about halfway, resting on its right side.
Again, after reviewing body-worn camera, were you able to determine if that gun had been moved?
It was moved, ma'am.
All right. Do you know where it was moved from?
It was moved from the front left corner of the bed. It was resting on its left side with the grip portion near the closest to the edge.
Okay, if we're looking at the bed, if I'm standing at the foot of the bed, is it on my right or is it on the left?
It'd be on your right.
On my right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Looking at Commonwealth's 116, orienting myself, this is the primary bed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and on the right hand of this photo, is that where you observed the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the body-worn camera?
Yes.
Okay, and was there any residue on this sheet?
There was 2 blood stains on that bed. The one on the right near the edge, and then there's another one on the front edge. And that was from medical waste, because when I picked up that evidence, that when we were clearing off the bed, when I picked up those items, there was blood on them.
Okay, did you send this sheet to the lab for testing?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll show you Commonwealth's 117. Did you make the markings on the photo here?
Yes, ma'am.
Red that we see? What were you intending to communicate with the markings that you have on the sheet?
I spoke with the state lab about what we were requesting for stains, and because I knew the one was from medical waste, there was no need to process that because we know where it came from, the point of origin. But the one on the right-hand side is the one I wanted, and so I sent this so they could have a reference to what I was talking to them about and showing it to them.
Okay. If you had just sent the big old sheet to the lab without any specifics, what would have been the response?
They would start processing the whole sheet.
All right, thank you. So, Commonwealth's 119, what do we see photographed here?
That was more blood spatter on the wall.
Did you swab those items and send them, that item and send it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am. I took that largest stain you see to the left of the ruler. That's the one I submitted to the lab.
Ms.
Okay,
Sanford,
and that was,
I'm sorry, you said 119, but it says 118.
oh, I'm sorry, 118, Your Honor.
Okay, thank
Almost
you.
118, I
Okay,
apologize.
that's all right, I just want to make sure. Go ahead, I apologize.
Thank you. And this is now Commonwealth's 119. Is that a closer photograph of the same stain?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and again, that was sent to the lab as item 39.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Would that be cast off blood?
One more here.
There's a lot of blood flying around in that
Commonwealth's
room.
120.
Very violent.
What did you process in this photograph?
This would be the laundry basket, and what we're looking at is in this photo, is the front of that laundry basket. Again, I took a swab of its blood stains on here, and if you go down bottom center, you can see a convergence of two stains, of blood spatter, and that's where I took the sample for the lab.
All right, and was that sent to the lab as item 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you took another swab of the laundry basket, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And while this photo doesn't necessarily zoom in on it, describe for us from where you took the second swab on the laundry basket.
The second swab would have been on the left-hand side and be the side furthest from the dresser on the curtain side.
All right, and that's Commonwealth's 121 that we're looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that went to the lab as item 56, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's
We'll see how much of this the lab actually tested.
122. What do we see depicted here?
This would be the dog bed once Joe Ryan's body was removed.
And again, that black checkered item was determined to be Christine's pajama bottoms, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I see there's some black fabric to the left as well. What is that?
That's the underwear, ma'am.
Okay. Did you inspect those items?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any observations about them apart from the blood?
Apart from the blood, one pant leg was inside out, and the other pant leg had the underwear around it. And if you took the crotch region of the underwear, it was torn, ripped, separated from the other side.
All right. And Judge, if I can terminate the display for just a moment. I'm going to take you back to Commonwealth's 105, which was previously admitted, not under seal. Judge, if this can be displayed to the witness and the jury in the gallery.
Okay.
Detective Leach, there's a piece of black fabric to the left in the photograph near the edge of the bed. What was that?
It was a black shirt.
Okay. Did you make any observations about that shirt other than the fact that it had blood on it?
Appears to be cut.
When we took the shirt and lifted it up and was able to document it better, we found that the back of the shirt was completely cut. It wasn't one smooth cut. You could tell it was jagged because you would have a cut, little pull, cut, pull, and up.
All right. Was it in the center of the shirt that it was cut? Was it to the side?
I'd say center. It was more towards the center.
Okay. And Judge, I'm going to ask to terminate the display. Offer into evidence Commonwealth's 123 and 124 under seal.
All right, and no objection again, correct? Objection. 123 and 124 under seal.
All right, Detective Leach, if the court can publish the photos to the jury and the witness. Tell me about this photograph. We see again, we're back to Joseph Ryan, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is it that is next to Mr. Ryan's left hip, partially under him?
It would have been a black slide and a shoe, slide on shoe, and a backpack.
All right. Did you search that backpack?
After we finished with Mr. Ryan's body and we were able to move him out of the way, yes.
I'm going to take you to Commonwealth's 124. Is this a zoomed in photo of that bag?
Just trying to show the property that was in it at the time, how it was when we found it.
Okay. So if that's how it was when you found it, did you put anything back into that bag before taking this photo?
No, ma'am, that's exactly how it was.
All right, in your review of the body worn camera, did you see anyone on body worn put anything back into that bag?
Not that I could observe, ma'am.
Okay. And Judge, I would now move to admit Commonwealth's 125 and publish to the witness, the jury, and the gallery.
All right, 125 in evidence.
And Judge, I'm going to go ahead and ask to admit from 125 through 151.
Okay. 125 through 151, and there's no objection, correct? Okay.
Should be 151.
Okay.
No objection, okay. So then we have 125 through 151 in evidence. Okay.
All right. So looking at Commonwealth's 125.
So this would be
Is
Joe's
this the
bag,
backpack
right?
after you removed the items from it?
Yes, ma'am.
What observations did you make about the backpack?
Once we opened up the backpack, this would be, the photo is showing the back of the pack from the ins. It's the back inside compartment of the backpack, and there was blood spatter on there.
Okay, so if I open the bag with my two hands and spread it wide apart, this is looking inside the bag?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? Okay. And what are those marks?
That's the blood spatter, ma'am.
All right. You placed circles in this photo. Did you make those circles?
That's stitching.
I'm sorry, the red lines.
Oh, the red lines, the circles, yes, ma'am. I did that for the, again, this was something I sent out to the state lab. And so I wanted to know what I was referencing when I asked for the exam.
Okay. Did you send that to the lab as item 125? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the contents of the bag, Commonwealth's 126. What did you find inside?
We took the backpack and we laid out everything and did one overall photo as we inventoried through. And what you see is there's like rubber exercise bands, a metal rod with eyelets in it, lubricant, clothespins, a chain with padlocks with the keys in them, a roll of electrical tape, like a COVID mask, an apricot, and then one that I refer to like almost like a gag.
An apricot?
Okay. Commonwealth's 127, is this the receipt that was found in the bag?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Commonwealth's 127, a receipt that was found in the wallet?
That was found in Joe Ryan's wallet.
Yes,
One of
okay.
these things is not like the
And we can see the wallet
others.
underneath the receipt, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that wallet listing out personal lubricant, floss sticks, and apricot?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? One apricot? All right, and that receipt is dated the same day of
It
your
was the same
investigation?
date, yes, ma'am, the 24th.
February 24th, 2023. Okay. Did you find, obviously, this wallet, but anything else outside of the backpack that might have been personal belongings of Mr. Ryan's?
Well, I found his coat. His coat was actually underneath his legs near his buttocks area. We took his coat. We found his car keys in the front right pocket, and his wallet was in the front left pocket.
Okay. You also found zip ties, is that correct?
There was zip ties found on the floor, yes.
Okay. Directing your attention to Commonwealth's 128. Okay, this is an interesting photo. Tell us about it. What do we have here?
This is a sheet that's been suspended and it's being fluoresced with a laser.
Why do you fluoresce a sheet with a laser?
We're looking for body fluids.
And did you find them?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the sheet come from?
This is the fitted sheet from the au pair's bedroom.
From the au pair's bedroom. This is Juliana's bed sheet, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you mark this item with the body fluids, with the location of the body fluids that you found?
Yes, ma'am. I was going for a lab submission, so I marked those stains that I found for the lab personnel.
All right, and looking at Commonwealth's 129, is this a photograph of the markings that you made on the sheet to identify the
Yes,
body
ma'am.
fluid? Okay. Was that sent to the lab as item 65?
Yes,
Can be
ma'am.
tested. video.
Turning your attention to Commonwealth's 130. What have you photographed here?
This was Brendan Banfield's clothing.
Okay. And what were the articles of clothing that were collected?
It was a set of his blue jeans, button-down shirt, and a black coat.
And you've put them on a dummy here in approximation to how Mr. Banfield was dressed on the day of the murder. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I used the body-worn camera.
Perfect. Okay.
Mannequins are rigid, right? Is that true?
What did you do with these items once you had taken this photo?
Some of the coat and the jeans all both went to the state lab.
Okay. Did you mark the jacket for the areas that you wish to have tested?
No, ma'am. This is once it came back from the lab.
Aha. All right. So how did you present this item to the lab?
I presented this one. This one was because of the color. It's hard to see the blood and everything on it. I submitted it to the lab. I said, gave them a synopsis of what happened, and I just gave them the whole as a whole, and this is what they marked out.
All right. So those markings that we see were the selections that the lab made for their testing. Is that correct?
That would be my understanding, ma'am.
Okay. And this was sent to the lab as item 121. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commonwealth's 132, we see specifically 2 circles. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do we know what the lab tested for there?
They were testing for blood.
Item 133, what is this a photograph of?
It's going to be Mr. Banfield's blue jeans.
Okay, tell me about the white L's that we see taped to the jeans. What are those?
It was requested by me, requested for me to take and do. It's called road mapping of the stains. And all you simply do is you take the item and you put down the scales in so many distances apart. There was no set distance, but you just want to make sure you got plenty of scales. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a stain there. We're just trying to document to scale the entire object.
Okay, so they're reference points, is that fair?
That'd be a way of referring to them, yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did you observe about these pants?
That they had blood stains on them.
All right, any particular staining patterns that you observed?
There was the blood stains on the knee area, and then there was a particular stain which someone pointed out and they requested for me to submit that to the lab.
All right, so we're going to look at Commonwealth's 134. This now has a circle imposed on the photo. Tell me what that circle is indicating.
Again, this is something that's going to the lab. We discussed it. It's obvious with the pants, there's lots of staining. This was the particular stain that the graphs requested to be processed.
Okay, and zoomed in here, tell me about that stain. Was it different than the staining on the knees?
Waist?
Most of the stains that you saw in the pants were like almost like smears, smudges, like they came in contact with blood. This was droplets.
All right, were there more droplets on the pants?
Yes.
But this was the area that was selected for testing?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, that was Commonwealth's 135 that we're looking at for those markings. Taking a look at Commonwealth's 136.
Levi's not a sponsor.
Tell me about this red circle.
This is on the back of the jeans. It'd be to the left of center, just below the belt line or close to being in the belt line.
And was that item sent along with the other request for testing by the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that one went to the lab as 136. I'm sorry, as all, these were all sent to the lab as 123, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, photo 136, also item 123. Sorry for any confusion. All right, and looking at Commonwealth's 137, what do we have here?
It's that same stain with the drop, just a different angle on it. Just showing it more from the inside the leg outward.
All right, did you have the opportunity to take a look at Mr. Banfield's shoes?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's 138, are these the shoes that were collected from Mr. Banfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Adidas shoes, Levi
Did you make any
jeans.
observations about what was on those shoes?
There was staining on the shoes, on the tops, but there's also staining on the bottom and into the treads.
Commonwealth's 139, what do we have here?
Nike.
This would be Juliana's left shoe and sock.
Okay, and we're gonna look. Is this the right shoe and sock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you observe blood on the shoes and socks?
There was blood on the shoes. On the shoes, it was primarily around the soles, around the edges of the soles and underneath the shoe. On the socks, there was red staining.
Okay. You sent the socks to the lab as 117 and the shoes as 118, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the staining on the socks, where on the sock was it? Was it on the top of the sock? Was it on the bottom of the sock?
It was in the toe region, the toe area. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily on the top or on the bottom because of, it's like it looked like it leached a little bit or there was some.
All right. And here we have the bottom of the left shoe, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about your observations on this shoe with regards to the location of the blood.
Blood was towards the toe area. Mine was towards the toes. You can also see that the blood went up inside the tread.
That was 141, correct?
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, that was Commonwealth's 141. Thank you. Now looking at Commonwealth's 142, what were your observations regarding the blood on this shoe?
The shoe, the blood was only really near the bottom edges. It's on the rubber sole part. Wasn't up onto the leathers.
All right. Did the socks create a bit of a puzzle for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what did you do to try to answer questions you had about the blood on the socks?
She had blood on her socks, and I couldn't figure out how they got there. So I took her shoes, because as you can see from the photo, there's holes, air holes for the sneakers. I didn't know if by chance blood might have went down into those holes. So what I ended up doing was I took the shoe, I cut around sole in the leather part of the shoe, so I could lift up and see inside the shoe.
What did you discover upon taking apart the shoes?
There was no staining.
All right. Did you send anything else off to the lab? I'm going to show you Commonwealth's 143. What is this?
That's the insert from the left shoe.
Okay. Why did you send that to the lab?
That dark area that's circled, and this is the photo that I gave to the lab, and they knew what I was talking about, that tested positive for blood.
Okay. And so that was sent to the lab as item 118. It didn't have a separate designation from shoes 118. It went back to the lab as 118.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did Juliana's sweatshirt, t-shirt, or pants have any blood on them?
Not that I could find, ma'am.
All right, let's look at Joseph Ryan's clothing. Commonwealth's 149. This t-shirt, what, if anything, did you observe about the shirt?
It had the blood staining. A lot of it was near the chest area. You can see it's not like any individual stain. Also, if you come down,
anybody have a song in their head
as
right
you look
now?
at the photo, it'll be on the right-hand side. It's right above the G and the H and Howie's name there. There's a defect.
I've zoomed in and I'm aiming my cursor where you're talking. Is that what you observed?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to determine how that defect occurred?
It appeared it was coming from a projectile, from a bullet.
Commonwealth's 150, what do we have here?
This is Joe's pants.
Okay. What did you do with regard to Joe's pants after photographing?
After photographing, we met with the state lab, and we discussed different options for processing. On this one, because of the way the pants were situated on his body, I had questions about the zipper button area. The lab recommended an MVAC, but they don't have one. So this item was sent to DNA Labs International to be processed.
All right. And were the So that was regarding the zipper, the button, and the waistband, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were the genes sent to any other labs for other testing?
Yes. The right leg was sent to the whole pants was sent to Bodie Laboratories, but we requested the stain on the right pant leg to have a technique done that the state lab doesn't do.
Okay.
And so we sent it to them to have them process in an attempt to see if we can generate any more evidence out of it.
All right. So Bodie tested the stains on the pant leg, and DLI tested the zipper, the button, and the waistband. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have any other questions about these genes that could have been answered by the state lab? Or did you feel it was necessary to send them to the other two labs for the specific testing that you've discussed?
This for the specific testing, because those stains, we were just trying to figure out what caused them, what and what formed them.
Okay. All right. Judge, I'm not sure what time the court wanted to take the morning break.
It's a little early still.
It is. My next bit is a little bit lengthy, and we can break after that, but it will be approximately 30 minutes. I have video to share with the detective.
The video is your next
Yes.
item? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our morning recess then, and we'll just have to make it through to lunch a little longer, okay? So don't do any outside research and don't talk to anybody, okay? We'll take 15 minutes.
All right. Big sigh from defense. Things are going faster now in the trial. A lot of evidence has to come in. This is a very complicated scene with 2 victims and 2 perpetrators. So the police...
Detectives, since you're on the stand, you cannot discuss their testimony with anybody to include the prosecutors at this point, yes, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a recess then. Let's make it 11:28.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that.
All right, no problem. 11:28. All rise.
All rise. All right. Wow. Video. Video comes next. Hope it's interrogation video. All the songs in chat are absolutely hilarious because I want it that way. Tell me why. Just tell me why. You're killing me with all the references. 11:28, not a minute later, she said 15-minute break, and she meant it. So why do they start at 10? They barely get going. It's time for a break. Courts are different. I've seen, the 8 to 5 with 1 hour lunch or an hour and a half lunch. I've seen other states that seem to work a half day. Some courts actually have, even though they have a jury trial scheduled, they have other docket work that has to be completed as well. So in the morning, they might have an hour or so of, arraignments or, little quick court appearances, pretrial conference, whatever it is, to sort of move everybody else along so it doesn't just put everyone on hold in the legal system until this trial is over. So it could be that as well. Judges have pre-existing commitments outside of this. Well, unless they tell us, we don't know. I guess it's Name Your Favorite Band Day in chat. So Greener says I was partial to Truly, Madly, Deeply by Savage Garden. DSN, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Good to have you here. Quit playing games with my heart. Red Pen, great time for a break. Great time for a break. Grab the break. Court schedule. Here we go. Thank you very much, Rob, for this. Rob from Law and Lumber. 10 a.m. to 11:30, 15-minute recess. Then 11:45 to 1 p.m., 1 hour lunch recess. And then 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., then a 13-minute recess, and then 3:45 to 5 p.m. What's with the 13-minute? Was that supposed to be a 5? I think it's supposed to be a 5. You get gypped out of 2 minutes in the afternoon. What's with that? But this judge has shown that she wants to keep the schedule. She wants to keep everybody to it. Oh, man, Dead South, great band. But you have to watch the videos. You can't just listen. I mean, they play great music, but the videos, half the fun is what's happening on the screen. Let's see. This judge usually has other docket work. That's how it's always been in nearly every court I've been in Virginia. Maybe it's a statewide, just like the Supreme Court sets the schedule for everybody. Judge runs a tight ship. I like that. As somebody who's got some experience in the media world, television runs on schedule. You can't have a commercial start playing 2 seconds later. That dead air is terrible. You know, someone can lose their job over that, because when you have dead air, you lose views, eyeballs. People switch the channel. It's like, oh, stopped working. What else is on? And they're gone. And it's hard to bring them back. So I appreciate that we can count on something happening at the right time. I'm sure anyone who has to anchor a show and do the pre-show discussion would appreciate knowing when their discussion ends. They can lead up to it as well. So, all right. Was the au pair just charged with shooting Joe? Yes, initially. I think the police looked at the investigation and said that second shot was not self-defense. That was different. That was murder. Let's see. The au pair gets a slap on the wrist, a ticket home, and a Netflix special, plus a book deal, possibly. We've got. She's hoping to go home and write a book, and sort of become infamous, right? A little famous, infamous crossover. It doesn't matter as long as the money rolls in. And a fragrance. Everyone needs a fragrance nowadays, right? Maybe we should have that conversation tonight on the podcast. What should the channel release as a fragrance? The Recovery Addict fragrance. Wrong answers only. Her book deal will be about how much she hates her lawyers. No thanks. The au pair in the discussion tried to present it as the story was going to be about my family and my upbringing and what they've gone through. And I'm sorry. They might sell you that when they're getting you to sign up to the deal, but people aren't going to watch it to be like, man, I'm just so curious what Juliana's upbringing was like before she chose what drove her to be an au pair. That's not where the story is. That's not where the interest lies. That's not where the audience is going to be like glued to the screen saying, I want to see this part. It's like, tell me how you went from being an au pair to the live-in side chick after the wife was murdered. Tell me that part. Tell me the intrigue. Tell me the behind the scenes. How did you manage to carry on an affair in the home with the wife there without her finding out for all this time? That's going to be where the story is, the salacious details. And so if she's thinking that she's going to tell a book deal about her days in high school, or it's not. That's going to be a very small chapter. I'm behind, just saw the apricot. Should I catch up? The apricot threw us for a loop a little bit. Apparently it has special properties. I didn't know this. Maybe we should buy some apricots. No. Apparently apricots are one of those fruits that helps set the mood for a grape. I know that the mental thought, just the thought process, it doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Dried apricots don't do that. And prunes also, no good. I'm just putting that out there for you. Apricot is this trial's asparagus. Yes, it is. Will she be called back to the stand? It's possible. She is. I think they did put her on notice that she's not released. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't believe she was released from her subpoena, so she is not allowed to watch the trial. She's not allowed to discuss the trial with anybody. She can discuss things with her lawyer, but that's it. But she may be recalled either by the state or by the defense if they choose to in their case as well. Let's see. Is there court tomorrow? I heard possibly no court, and then holiday on Monday too. January 16th. Where did you hear that from? I didn't hear that. All the fruits. Just made a huge bowl of yogurt only to find out it's coconut flavored. Oh, I'm so sorry, Allison OG. Coconut flavoring was invented by the devil. It's so, I don't like coconut. I'm sorry. It's no good. No bueno. I feel like RA fragrance smells like jelly beans. That's your fragrance. We'll call it salacious. I will tell you one thing, that if I did come out with a fragrance, it would be a tech fragrance, right? Not that it would smell like computers, but every time you spray it, there would be a counter on it that would go up to show how many times you sprayed the fragrance. It needs to have a counter somewhere, right? We don't have a counter in this trial yet. I apologize. We'll maybe get that put together. A pickle perfume? No, I'm done. I'm done with dill. I'm done with dill. I've been all dilled out. Let's see. Spicy maple bourbon pickles. Can I go on a side rant while we're on a brief pause here in court? Walmart discontinued spicy maple bourbon pickles. I cannot find them. They have spicy maple pickles, but there's no bourbon. And I'm not being a drinker, I didn't know what that was. But the spicy pickles are not the same as the spicy maple bourbon pickles. If you can find them, please tell me where they are. If you know who the manufacturer was, let me know so I can make a special deal with them and sell spicy maple bourbon pickles as my merch, because they're that good. RA scent would be microphone. Oh my goodness. Microphone scent is not a good thing. I go through so many of these covers because if you talk into them for a week, it's like, I'm done. What if, yeah. If you've been in radio, you know. Change the mic covers frequently. I have one jar. How much are you offering? Oh, man. Could you make your own? I don't know the recipe. If you look on Amazon, it's going to be super expensive if they're on there. They are delicious. They're hot. They're tasty. They're wonderful. I paid $40 for 2 jars on Amazon. See, it used to be $3.85 for the big jar of spicy maple bourbon pickles. No, this court does not hold trial court on Fridays. Fridays are reserved for docket clearing and motions. Okay, Red Pen, great to hear. So going back to the scheduling. Buffer Lawn Lumber has the actual court calendar up there. The real info. In Fairfax, Fridays are reserved for motion days. Sorry, I missed this, Rob. They keep all judges on deck for the motions docket, so it's not typically a trial day. Okay, so we expect then at the end of today the judge to release the jury for the weekend. Then we just need to find out what the schedule is next week, if there is any sort of holiday. What would the holiday be in January? Let's see. We've got Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Curious if they honor that in the courts or not. Lindsay LeBerg. I wish they had them in Ontario, Canada. I've looked everywhere. Allspice, no bourbon pickles. Hence a 4-week trial. The holidays are kicking it out. That makes a little more sense now. We've eliminated basically a week of trial by having no court on Fridays. Thank you very much for clicking the like button. It helps the channel immensely. If you haven't done it, now's a great time. If you've done it already, don't touch it. Don't mess up a good thing, right? You don't want to unclick the like. One time is enough. If you do have to do it multiple times, I suggest 3, not 2. But that's good. Yep, Martin Luther King's a federal holiday. Okay. Well, maybe we can catch up on the mansion murder trial tomorrow and the next day. But then we'd have to bail and come back to this one. It would be a little confusing, but I have to admit I'm a little bit drawn in by the personalities in the mansion murder. I always click it a prime number of times, sometimes 2, 3, or 5. Burning cables and Southern Febreze. That's going to be the scent. It's a his and hers matched set. that the Recovery Addict channel is going to be releasing here soon. Burning cables in Southern Febreze. Let's see. President Day. Yeah, I don't like court hopping on a Friday, Tiffany, because most of our small courts that we do follow, whether it be Simpson or whatever, they do landlord-tenant stuff. And that's not my favorite at all. I mean, sorry, Rob, we don't watch family law, right? We don't watch divorce courts and things like that, and child custody, and we don't usually watch landlord-tenant stuff. People just getting evicted from their homes. That's not what I like to see. Could we do the mansion trial every Friday on 1.25 speed? What if we did like a 24-hour catch up, a marathon of mansion trial, so we could catch up on the entire week in 2 days? I'd have to work Friday and Saturday, and you'd get your weekend watches that you've been asking for. Do we know the verdict for Mr. King? Britt, that was the one in Warren County. I believe it was guilty on both charges. That was the assault and felonious assault in jail, right? It was guilty on both. All right. Take dill pickles, add mapleine, bourbon, and red pepper flakes, and some Caro syrup. Caro syrup? Really? That's the recipe? Go all weekend long. Pretty sure your mods would hate you. Yeah, we would have to we'd have to do it over on like the Top Mark Media channel or something, so that we could recruit some different people, give the mods the weekend off. Our mods all perked up when I said working all weekend long. Let's see. King is guilty 6 to 8 years consecutive. Earliest release date is 2053. Olga, the brand name was actually the store brand for Walmart. It was Sam's Choice. And then Food Lion had the exact same bottles, like the same manufacturer of bottles, same manufacturer of lids, but they used their own Food Lion brand as well. Both of them stopped. So it's almost like the manufacturer stopped making them. What's Maybelline? Do they do mascara? I think so. I think it's a makeup brand. No, that's Maybelline. Check out the Tipsy Pickles in Vermont. Let me just put a little note here. Tipsy Pickles. In Vermont. Okay, it's in my notes. I'll check that. Let's see. Treehouse Guy took a deal and was long out. Yeah, Tucker. That was a while ago. That was like over a year ago, wasn't it? Okay. You can wrench people for weekend mod shift only. All right, here we go.
All right, are we ready for the jury?
We're coming back.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Defense mic is still hot. It is causing some of the ringing sound we're hearing because it's pointed up at the speakers, so it's getting a little bit of a feedback loop. I'm trying to eliminate just that resonant frequency. But it's a difficult one.
That's not a word. That's not a lock. So this. So I just took a picture of his home screen, or like of the call screen.
Prosecution whispers right into their mic. Timestamps on the calls. It looks like we're probably getting into phone data. I don't have spicy maple bourbon.
Thank
Sure, it
you.
says
Your
bourbon
next
on
question.
Thank you. Judge, I'm going to go back for just 1 second. We left one out. Detective Leach, I'm going to have you look at Commonwealth's 151. I would offer this into evidence if it has not yet been.
It is in evidence.
All right, wonderful. If that can be published. Detective Leach, this is, to back you up just a little bit, we're back on Joe's jeans. We've zoomed in here. You were talking about what specifically was sent to DLI.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain again what we see here and what you asked DLI to test and why?
DLI would be the zipper region in the area of the waistband around the buttons, the button and the buttonhole, and to the sides of them.
Okay. When you say the zipper, are you talking about the tines on the zipper or the pull?
The whole area, ma'am.
The whole area,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And why did you send that to DLI to be tested? Not why DLI, but why did you send that to be tested?
Because of the way the pants were positioned on the body, to me, when we got there, the pants, you saw in the one photo how the pants were undone and down a little bit in the front. When we rolled Mr. Ryan's body to place him into the body bag, we found that his pants in the back were caught up on his butt, so it was caught up underneath his butt cheeks. And so to me, I didn't know if someone might have tried to manipulate the pants. I don't know.
Okay.
So my job is to find the answers.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
There's a mental picture there.
Give me just one moment. This time Commonwealth would offer 152, 153, and 154 into evidence.
And no objection, correct? All right. 152, 153, and 154 in evidence. Thank you.
All right. So, to your knowledge, was surveillance video collected from the McDonald's restaurant located at 2475 Centerville Road in Herndon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you see that pictured here on this fantastic Google map?
We are going to Mickey
Okay, and it's
D's.
labeled on the map. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you aware of the distance of this McDonald's from the Banfield's home?
From the Banfield's home, there's a couple of different ways to get there, but they're all probably under 3 miles.
Okay, thank you. And Judge, I'm going to move to stipulated video clip 153, Commonwealth's 153. All right, this is the vantage point from the McDonald's drive-thru. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this car creeping in here, that's Mr. Banfield's car, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the timestamp on this video, to your understanding, is that the correct time, 7:18 a.m. on December 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we just saw his car leave the drive-thru, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In case you want to know, this McDonald's is open 24 hours. Or as you're driving up to the words, it's
All
actually
right,
hours
and that's his
24
car
open.
returning to the drive-thru, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You just wanted to let somebody in ahead of him? He's getting his free pancakes. This was, in fact, the defendant's birthday, February 24th. So, it's just circling, waiting for the call, I think, yeah. Basically, the defense attorney waits until the damage is done before he complains about bleeding. I do see a subway off to the right. It's a very distinct sign.
Okay, we've changed camera angles and we now see Mr. Banfield's car here pulling up to the ordering area. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I guess the machine's broken, so they send the worker out, in and out style, or Chick-fil-A style. Takes the order car side.
All right, and changing angles again. We're at the pay window, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Pays with a card. Swipe. Approved. Grab the receipt and hand the card back. Would you like to be the guy in the
And
Honda?
we've changed angles now to the receiving window and exit area, is that right?
Guy in the
Yes,
Honda.
ma'am.
Guy in the Honda's like, hey, I'll pay for the car behind me too. He had no clue. Let's see what he picks up. Is this going to be
And that was
a coffee?
Honda
One
original,
coffee?
and now we have Mr. Banfield's car, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. The Hyundai.
Okay.
Looks like a bag and a drink, so maybe a sausage muffin with egg, I'm thinking. A smeg, as we called
Okay.
them when I worked there.
So from this vantage, if you look in the top left, do we see his car pulling out straight from the McDonald's drive-thru?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to take you back for just 1 second to our map. And I'm putting my cursor here over the drive-through pickup area. Is that your understanding of its location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so we saw his vehicle exit in the direction of my cursor, is that right? Just pulling straight out?
Towards Chuck E.
Yes,
Cheese.
ma'am.
Okay. Now Commonwealth's 1:53. Our timestamp has moved on to 7:29, so it's been approximately 8 minutes, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we see him,
154.
I'm sorry, 1:54, and we see him pulling into a parking spot.
The camera's
Yes, ma'am.
labeled
And
danger
that's Mr.
zone.
Banfield getting out of his car.
Yes, ma'am.
This is where people get hit by the car. Danger zone.
Okay, we've changed angles and we see him going into, do you understand that to be the bathroom of the McDonald's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's at about 7:29 and 30 seconds-ish. And so I'm gonna try to move this on a little bit.
Just drag that little button. Yeah, let's put an audio track to this.
We're gonna go to 7:30.
You spent 7 minutes in the
Just kind of
bathroom.
advancing it in 30-second increments. He's still in the bathroom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I tend to spend as little time as possible in a McDonald's bathroom, but I have not found one ever that would entice me
Somebody
to be
else
longer.
has gone in the bathroom. Is that what that looked like? That wasn't him,
Yes.
right? Okay. Okay, and someone's come out of the bathroom area. Still not Mr. Banfield.
He's got a little PCP scheduled this morning. I'd like
Okay,
to
we've
think
hit
he's just
7:37.
very thorough about washing his hands.
So he's been in there for approximately 7 minutes at this point. Do we now see him exiting and on his phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And our camera angle shifts and we follow him still on his phone, out to his car. And is it 7:37 and approximately 30 seconds that he's getting in his car still on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. He's
Well, it goes
backing
out the in. That should be charged as well.
And we see his vehicle leave the area, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And again, this angle from the window, you see him drive off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then this angle, we see him head out onto the road, presumably towards home. And that's his black Hyundai turning left in the left side of this video.
Yes.
Is that correct? All right.
McDonald says better cameras than most prison yards.
Judge, if we can terminate the display for the moment. All right. Did you have the opportunity, as the guy who keeps all of the evidence, to take possession of Brendan and Juliana's cell phones?
Yes, ma'am, later on in the investigation.
Okay. And do you have those here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to ask that these items be marked as Commonwealth's 232 for identification purposes, Brendan Banfield's cell phone, and item 233, again for identification purposes, as Juliana Perez Magalhaes' cell phone. And if I can have those handed to the detective, please.
The way she said guy who takes care of the evidence, you'd think it was in bold on his business card.
They're already open. I had a charger. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I will note, I am going to ask him to turn them on so that we can look at the screens. We do not have a way to ensure that they do not make noise in the courtroom if someone were to try to
call them?
call one of the numbers.
I understand.
They maintain the plans in the custody of the police? They pay their cell phone bill?
All right, so let's start with the Android, Mr. Banfield's phone.
Now that we've given out their numbers.
Still charging, still powering up, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
It's still
All right.
powering up.
Okay, thank you.
I've never had them turn them on before. That's worse than Zoom bombing a court.
Okay, ma'am, it's up. It's
All
working.
right, so if we take a look at 232, Your Honor, I'd like to put it on the projector, if I may, please.
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Are
Never
you
seen
still
this
want it to the
before.
witness, or are you going to admit it into evidence?
It's always
I
been a
am not
report.
going to admit the phone into evidence. Judge, I'd like to have the jury be given the opportunity to look at it, and then I have still photographs taken of each of the screens that I will offer into evidence as 232 A, B, C, D, E, and F.
If it's not in evidence, the jury can't look at it.
I was under the impression that the court would not want the object with its password given to the jury to be able to manipulate for themselves, and so we have photographs of the screens. I can
I mean, you
simply
can enter
show those
evidence.
photographs if there is no objection to moving directly to those items.
Is there any objection just to moving to the photographs?
I've seen this, I don't know.
Okay, no objection.
Makes
Okay,
it
let's
easy.
just do that
Thank
then.
you.
We're not going
Thank
to
you,
boot
Mr.
up the
Carroll.
phones then. But please tell us the passwords anyway, because we're curious. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? So the jury will not be
So
playing
that we
Angry
are not going
Birds
to display it. We are
the
simply going
phone.
to move to the photographs.
We're going to the photographs.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Sorry
Judge
for the
Johnson.
confusion.
That's okay.
during deliberation. Okay, wrong answers only. What was his password or what was her password?
To pull up
Yes, that's
pictures.
fine.
right. So Judge, at this time, the Commonwealth would move to admit Commonwealth's 232A, a photograph of Brendan Banfield's phone screen call log.
No objection? No objection to our 232A.
All right, and if I can have that displayed to the witness, the jury, and the gallery. All right, Detective Leach, when you turned on the phone and worked your way over to the call log, is this what you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we can note that it has a record of calls from, at the top, we see February 24th, and then timestamps for each of the received or outgoing calls. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And we see an incoming call from Juliana at 7:37 a.m.
Yes.
We see an outgoing call twice to Christine Banfield at 7:38 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then within the same minute, another outgoing call to Juliana.
Yes.
And then again at 7:42, two more outgoing calls to Christine Banfield, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then after that, it looks like just missed calls
Yes.
during times that we know Mr. Banfield to be interacting with law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Why was Amanda the au pair calling? That was the previous au pair, right?
Judge, if we can terminate, I'll then move to 232B.
Okay.
Although somehow the picture is marked A. This is B, despite its title. All right. If we can then offer into evidence Commonwealth's 233A.
So not 232B?
Nope, it is 233A.
Okay, 233A.
Yep, 232 being Mr. Banfield's phone, 233 being Juliana Perez Magalhaes' phone.
But 233A.
233A, all right. And if everyone can take a look at this.
By everyone.
All right, Detective Leach, is this the call log that shows up when you turn on Juliana's phone?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, and we can see a handful of calls that occurred on the 24th. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commonwealth would next offer 233B into evidence.
Any objection to 233B? All right, 233B in
Okay,
evidence.
so here's 233B. We have an outgoing call at 7:36 a.m. that lasted for 5 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
To a contact identified as Christine.
Yes.
Okay. Then 233C would be offered into evidence?
You already had 233B is in evidence.
C, I'm
C,
sorry,
all right.
233C.
C, okay.
Any objection? Mr. Carroll? I'm going to move, I'm sorry? No, I'm about to. Yeah. Are we still casting?
No.
Okay.
Any objection to 233C?
I'm just going to take a quick look
Okay,
at
sure.
it, Judge.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no objection.
All right, 233C.
All right, and if that can be displayed. All right, and this is a call record indicating calls at 7:37 a.m. for 19 seconds and 7:38 a.m. for 47 seconds as an incoming to a contact identified as Brendan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, the Commonwealth will now move to 233D.
233D.
And offer that into evidence.
Any objection? Okay, no objection.
And if that could be shared. Detective Leach, this is an outgoing call from Juliana's phone to 911 at 7:47 that lasted 7 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay.
737 or
And
747?
Commonwealth's 233E.
Any objection to 233E?
No, Your Honor.
All right, E in evidence.
Okay. This phone call shows a missed call from a 703-877-3038. Do you know that to be the 911 direct number or the exchange?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is a call from 911 back to Juliana's call that was missed according to the phone, is that correct?
That's 747.
According to the phone. Okay. I'll now move to Commonwealth 233F.
Any objection to F?
Is this the butt dial?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 233F in evidence.
And I'd ask that be published. This is our last one, I promise. This is a log of calls to 911. We have a canceled call at 7:48, a canceled call at 7:49, and then an 8-minute outgoing call from Juliana's phone at 8:02 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, that looks
Your Honor, I
looks
do not
fishy.
believe I have any additional questions for this witness.
Can I
clarify exhibits?
I have a question. Well, 144 through 148, you asked to be admitted in evidence, which we admitted in evidence, but I don't have any, you didn't display any 144 through 148.
If I can have the court's indulgence for just one moment.
Sure.
So that looks really bad.
Judge, I would withdraw the request for 144 through 148.
All right, so withdrawn 144 through 148.
It's almost like a canceled
now-
call.
Now we're fine. Okay, thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
cross-examination?
Thank you, Your Honor.
To do the pictures? Yeah, just let me know.
Canceled means the phone call was ended prematurely on the caller's
Good morning,
side.
Detective Leach.
He just touched his face with the gloves.
I just have a few questions for you. And I think I'm just going to kind of go backwards from where we ended up with regard to the pictures, if that's all right.
Yes, sir.
You raised, you actually decided, I believe, that DNA Labs International was going to be included in the examination of the zipper area and the pants area. And I think you had said something about it. They had tools that the DFS doesn't have.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, were you the one who made the decision that DLI was where this was going to go?
I met with the state lab. I was out at their facility, spoke with them, showed them what we had, and they actually recommended using the MVAC for that process.
Okay, and the MVAC is designed to pick up finer particles, is that right?
The MVAC is like a wet vac you would use in your house. It uses moisture in a vacuum, so it injects the moisture, then sucks that moisture back up.
Okay.
And it's used for DNA collection.
And that's something that Fairfax County Police nor DFS has the ability to do?
Not at that time, we did not, no,
Is
sir.
that so that's the only reason why DLI would be brought in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then were their samples then, if you know, were they then analyzed by them or were they analyzed by DFS at that?
I would not know that, sir. That's for the examiners, the lab people, sir.
Okay. So in conjunction with DFS, you decided that this was a resource that we needed to kind of find the opportunity for and get them to do what the MVAC.
Yeah, we wanted an area process, and with the recommendation of the lab,
okay,
we went through DLI.
Now, I didn't quite catch I guess you had suspicions because in the zipper region, it appeared that the pants were being opened the way they were left when you found them.
When we arrived on scene, as you saw through the photos, his pants were undone, the zipper was down, and the pants were pulled down slightly. And we were trying to determine why that was.
And that was pulled down on the backside, so?
On the backside of the pants, if you're facing a person, it angled from the front down towards the back. And the back pants, the top of the jeans were underneath his buttocks.
Okay. And that caused significant enough concern that you had to go to that area?
It was an answer. I was trying to answer that question is why the pants were like that, and if they were, who did it?
Okay. Item number 135. So just so it's clear for the jury, the picture's number is 135, but you were also talking about 123 when we were in the middle of that. That's actually the number for the sample that went to the Division of Forensic Science, correct?
Which item was 135?
It said, it was the one that you said the graphs told you to go and get.
The graphs.
Graphs.
Yes.
And so that would have been relating to the genes of Joe Ryan, I believe.
There's the genes of the
Sorry?
I think 135 I have is the genes of the defendant. But
Oh, I'm sorry, genes of Brendan Banfield.
If Your Honor wishes, I can.
did you want to see the picture?
Yes, I think
Okay.
the witness probably would aid.
Okay, that's fine.
Please.
This is the picture 135 that you were discussing?
Yes, sir, that was a stain on Mr. Banfield's pants.
And those circled stains, you're saying in the back of the pants?
That's on the front leg, front right leg.
Okay, front right leg, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so, had these pants already been sent to the Department of Forensic Science prior to this submission?
No, sir.
Okay, so these were left until such time as the graph said, we need to know what that is.
Yes.
Okay, and and so they went ahead and you sent that to the Division of Forensic Science and then it was analyzed?
Yes, they requested me to take and submit it to the state lab. I contacted the state lab, explained the situation to them, and they were willing to accept them.
Okay, are you the one who decides, as a general rule, what's getting tested, or is it the lab that decides what's going to get tested?
It will be the lab, sir.
Okay, and in this situation, had you made, prior to getting the guidance from the graphs, had you made the decision that this was not something that you wanted to get tested?
It's not that I didn't want to get it tested, sir. As we progress through the investigation, new evidence, new questions come about, and we try to answer those. And so when we got to the pants, this question came up.
Okay.
And I said I thought it was a good suggestion, and we submitted it.
And so, what time in the timeline of getting to today? When was that sent on to the lab? Do you know?
That was, I'd have to refer to my notes to give you an exact date on that one, sir.
Do you have access to those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
Turning pages with latex gloves on. Is it easier or harder?
According to the request for laboratory examination, I submitted them to the state lab on 5/15/2024.
5/15/2024. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And were there any detectives involved in the decision in that situation, other than yourself?
My supervisors were aware, the homicide detectives were.
Okay.
And there was a discussion.
Who was your lead in the homicide section at that point?
Lead homicide detective?
Yeah, who were you keeping informed?
At that time, it would have been Detective Goodell.
Detective Goodell?
Yes.
Okay. Had Detective Bryant already left at that point?
Yes, Detective Bryant and Detective Goodell were basically team working it.
Okay, gotcha.
Starting to bring up the two different detectives. Who left and why? When? It's going to be important. The defense attorney was sniffling. This is a new witness.
So just to kind of go a little further into it, the state, when you bring a pile of evidence there, the state lab's going to determine what they're willing to test, correct?
We don't bring the evidence to them initially, no, sir.
So you have a discussion with them and say, this is the evidence we have. We're thinking about bringing it to you?
Yes.
And then the discussion occurs?
We go, like on this particular case, we went out there, met with them, myself, homicide detective, we discuss what we have, we show them what we have, we seek any suggestions or thoughts from them. We tell them what we would like to submit, and then they will go through that, and then they'll let us know what they will accept.
Okay, so they're the final authority.
Yes, sir.
And so if something hasn't been tested that you might have wanted, they explain to you why that wasn't going to happen and it didn't get tested.
They have their reasons, sir.
Okay.
I can't speak for them.
And so if someone who wasn't privy to that conversation, the only way we can know that they've asserted their authority is that something wasn't tested.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I just have a couple of questions regarding some of the other things that you've testified to. Bear with me. Now, did you take into account the injuries of the people as you found out in the investigation as to some of these stains that you observed?
Could you clarify that question, sir?
Did you take into account the injuries of the two people who were injured and were contributors to blood stains and blood spatter and things like that?
On this case, yes, sir. It was because we had two people with wounds and injuries.
Okay.
And that was Christine Banfield and Joe Ryan.
Now, when you look at the initial body camera, I think it might have been Officer Baumler's. Did you look at that?
I looked at several body-worn cameras, sir.
So the first one in into the room.
The very first officer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think that, along with what we've heard of the 911, you've heard that too, correct?
I didn't listen to the tape, sir.
Okay. Christine Banfield was on her side and was asked to do that by the 911 operator before first responders came. Would that account for the larger and deeper blood stains that you've described that were near the bed area where you say it was her?
Well, she was found on body-worn camera away from the bed on her left side facing the bathroom with her head closest to that tall dresser.
Right, and did you know that she was rolled over?
Once I saw the body-worn camera.
Okay. Now, the carpet area near Christine's body that you've identified, it's a large stain that you've talked about?
Yes.
Was that tested for blood?
No, sir.
Okay. And that's what you were talking about, was soaked all the way through?
That was soaked only, the stain closest to the bed, sir,
Yeah.
was the one that soaked all the way through the pad down to the subfloor, had the larger stain on the subfloor.
Okay.
The one where Christine was found, it did soak through, but not as much of volume, and the stain that was on the wood of the subfloor was significantly smaller than the original stain on the top of the carpet.
Okay. And was the significant stain larger than the other stain? Was that tested?
No, sir.
Okay. And so just so I'm clear, so the stain, as you looked at the picture that you observed today, the larger stain that went through to the subfloor was the one next to the corner of the bed.
Yes.
Do you want to see that picture, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
111, I believe.
Let me,
I'd love to pull up 111.
Okay, there we go.
Mr. Carroll, the picture on the screen if you want to.
yes, yes. So I'm looking at the picture in the same direction you're looking.
Yes,
the
sir.
One that just so I'm correct, the one that you indicated had the larger stains that went all the way to the floorboard was the stain near the bedpost of the bed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the one that you've testified was not tested.
To make it easier to show for you, my notes, that stain that you're looking at, I designate as bloodstain 1. Bloodstain 2 is going to be the one closer to the dresser.
Yes.
Bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2, neither were sent to the lab for processing.
Okay. And so we're not sure who the contributor of that blood on bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2 is.
No, sir.
We don't have any confirmation through DFS.
We don't have DNA forensic, but we have body-worn camera showing her body position.
Okay. Now, do you know where Mr. Ryan, Joe Ryan, was located in the room when he was shot, based upon your examination?
No, sir. I know where his body was at when it fell.
Okay. And that was the one near the dog bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible if he was, Mr. Ryan was shot at the foot of the bed, which is where those stains are, that the blood would be in the same area?
If that's where he was shot, it could be, yes, sir.
Okay. But there's no way of knowing that?
No, sir.
Okay. If, if Joe's, Ryan's blood was on the carpet in the area that we've just talked about, and an object was placed on that carpet, could, depending on whose blood it is, could that blood transfer to any item that was put on that area? That makes sense?
No, it didn't, sir. If you could clarify, please.
So if an object was put in this area where we have the two blood stains, we
yes,
don't
sir.
have to say who they are because we don't know. But if there was an object that was put there, could that, those blood stains with the magnitude of them, could that transfer to whatever object that is?
So what you're asking me, sir, if I'm clear, is if an object is put down in one of those blood stains that's picked up and then moved and put into another location, could it transfer those blood?
Yes.
Yes, that's possible, sir.
Do you have, in terms of your, I know you only have a limited kind of focus in this case, but do you have any idea whether my client is a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter?
When I documented his property that was brought to me from that was collected at the hospital, he had his holster on the right side and was a right-hand draw holster.
And that would indicate he's a right-handed shooter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you saw in the, when the original responders arrived, isn't it true that he was tending to Christine down on his knees, and you would have, the original first responders were coming to him from his right side, correct?
As they approached into the room, that would be correct, sir.
Okay.
Because he was on his knees facing the bathroom. So as they approach, they would approach Christine's feet, and as they would move upward, it'd be to his right.
Okay. And at that point in the, I strike that. Brendan's gun had blood on it, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there any way in your investigation to know where that blood came from?
No, sir.
If it had been sitting in that large and deep blood stain that we just talked about, could that have transferred to the gun?
That's possible, yes, sir.
Okay. Was the blood on the gun tested?
No, sir.
Okay. Was that an issue that was of concern to Fairfax County Police, or was it up to the lab to not test it?
Objection calls for speculation, given that phrasing of the question.
All right.
Objection was phrasing.
Your question,
Okay.
Mr. Carroll.
Who made the decision as to testing that particular item for blood?
It came to the state lab, sir.
Okay. So it was submitted to the state lab. Was there a request from Fairfax County Police, or is it just after talking to the state lab, they said, we're not going to do that?
Excuse me. The gun was originally sent to the state lab for firearms, and part of the policies is as my understanding with the state lab is once a weapon goes through firearms testing, They will not do the DNA testing on it.
And would that be because it was contaminated?
This contamination issues is my understanding. Again, sir, that's my understanding. The lab personnel would be the best that's their field of expertise.
Okay. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate your field of expertise. And so, did this particular gun, before it was sent onto firearms, was it tested for hair or fibers or anything like that?
It was all done by visual, sir.
Okay.
I took the weapon and I documented and looked at it.
And did you see any hair or fibers?
No, sir.
On the gun?
No, just the blood stain, sir.
Okay. Now, did you encounter carpet fiber in your crime scene?
We encountered carpet fiber and dog hair.
Carpet fiber and dog hair?
Yes, sir.
And were they analyzed to say, oh, this is carbon fiber and this is dog hair, or just eyeballed it? I'm using your term, I eyeballed it. I observed it, looked at it, and documented it, and it was discussed with the lab. Okay. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not trying to be quippy with eyeballing, just you observed it. And obviously there's a dog bed there, so that probably is not a bad conclusion, but we really don't know what's fiber and what's dog hair.
No, sir.
Okay.
Georgia, thanks for coming out of the shadows and saying hi. Welcome.
Now, the cell phones that we were just talking about, I think we saw the screenshots of them. So it would be Juliana's cell phone. Was there blood on Juliana's cell phone? Do you know?
I was not the original person who collected them, sir.
Okay. But it came to you guys.
The phones were, once they were collected by the detectives, went to computer forensics.
Okay. Gotcha. So you've never, other than just looking at what you saw today, you've never had the phone? Just
collecting the evidence. When I say collecting, the evidence, once computer forensics and everybody was done with it, it came to me, and then I would take it and add it into my inventory and then take it to the property room. So that, I think what you're asking is, did I ever physically open it up and go through them? No, I did not.
Okay. So you wouldn't know if there's blood on there or not?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
All right, redirect. All right, is this witness subject to recall?
Probably not.
Yes. All right, is he subject to recall? Okay, so you're free to go, thank you.
Free to go.
Okay.
You can keep your gloves too.
Your next witness?
Judge, the Commonwealth will call Matthew Niederreiter.
Could you turn your microphone on, because I didn't quite hear the name?
Commonwealth would call Matthew Niederreiter.
Thank you.
Matthew Niederreiter. Sir, you're going to have to leave. You can't stay up there. You're free to go means get out.
Okay.
I'm going to have just a second to get it set back up.
I'll wait outside.
He's keeping the gloves. The gloves stay. I got Neiderrider. Is that Niederreiter?
Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law? Thank you.
Could you vocalize your answer, please, sir?
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
He's got the unbuttoned cuffs. It's the look. It's a casual appearance for court.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you? Oh, afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
Matthew Niederreiter, Niederreiter.
All right, thank you, Mr. Niederreiter. What is it you do for a living?
I work at a window factory.
Make
and
windows.
I sell windows and set up projects for people to do home improvements that has to do with windows and doors.
All right.
Best advertising
I'm
ever.
going to offer into evidence at this point in time Commonwealth's Exhibit 157.
Any objection to 157?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 157 in evidence.
And if I can have that displayed, please.
He did not say we sell.
Mr. Niederreiter, I'm
Windows for
asking you to
crime
take a look
scenes.
as I scroll through these documents. Do you recognize these materials?
Yes, this is all information from my company that I work at, the window factory.
All right, wonderful. And does it talk about a triple pane glass window option?
Yes.
These are expensive.
Tell us about triple pane glass. What does it do?
I sell a lot of windows, and most people are happy with a double pane product that's very good for energy and such. And you can get regular glass where you can add to it sort of an energy coating that would make double pane windows very good and meet Energy Star type levels. When someone goes to a triple pane, that's another level, and that is a type of level where they're trying to do more than just protect the house from the sun.
What else does a triple pane window offer?
Most of the customers that I deal with that are looking in that direction are...
I'm gonna ask you,
Please,
just to answer
just
the
answer
question.
the question.
What does a triple pane window offer?
Oh, it would make the product 30% better in energy savings and noise level.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to then ask the court to admit Commonwealth's Exhibit 158.
And no further
Any
questions.
objection to 158?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 158 in evidence.
Mr. Niederreiter, again, I'll ask you to take a look at the documents on your screen. Do you recognize these documents?
Yeah, that is an invoice from our factory.
Okay, and as we scroll down,
Let's see the
we
price.
see a number of windows were ordered on this invoice, is that correct?
Yes, a large amount of windows.
Okay, and was this for the Banfield home located at 13230 Stablebrook Way?
Yes.
Okay, and do you recall when those windows were installed?
I believe they were ordered in August and installed sometime in December.
All right, thank you very much. I have no further questions of this
All right,
witness.
cross-examination.
Do you want me to leave the documents up?
$33,000 for new windows. That's what I was quoted for double pane in my house as well. Of course, I have 33 windows.
Mr. Niederreiter, my name is John Carroll. If I ask you any questions that you don't understand, please stop me and ask me to ask the question again. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are a manufacturer of windows.
Yes, I work at a factory where we make our own products.
And what's your job?
I am in sales and project development.
Okay. And so in sales and project development, you're here testifying about this. I'm assuming you went out to the Banfield home?
Yes, I was there at least 3 times.
Okay. And this whole process started in early 22, correct?
Yes, approximately in end of January, early February of that year.
Okay. And so that would have been when you were first notified, or would that have been the factory was notified saying they're interested in looking at windows?
Yes, someone contacted the factory and said, I'd like a person to come out and give us a free quote.
And were you privy to that initial contact?
No, I wasn't just told an address to go to.
So you don't know if it was Brendan Banfield or Christine Banfield?
I do not know that, yes.
Okay. And so the way it works with your factory is someone calls in and says, we're interested in windows.
Yes.
And then your job is to go out there and reduce, loss of heat by 30% or 50% or whatever it is that they want, correct?
Yes, I frankly just ask them what is important to them, and then I just measure.
Okay, gotcha. And do you recall when you went out to the house?
Oh, yes.
And when was that?
Late January of that year.
Okay.
So that's when the process starts.
Okay.
That's the first thing I do is go to the home.
Gotcha. And then you go there, and not to presume this, but you would measure all the windows that are going to be replaced?
Yeah, I have to walk the entire landscape of the house, in and out, and do a lot of measuring and counting.
Okay, and you did that?
Yes.
And this was a full window replacement on the house, correct?
When you say full, do you mean all the windows?
Yes.
Or do you mean, yes.
Okay. All the windows. And so how long would that take from the time that you first meet them to manufacture a full house worth of windows?
Well, there's several stages, meaning that I just start with a quote.
Gotcha.
And then it goes from there. If somebody actually orders, then from deposit to install could be any time between 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay. Gotcha. So if I understand you correctly, you go out and do the initial measurements, you give them the quote, then it's in their court to contact you.
Yes, we may follow up with, do you have any questions? Are you still interested?
Gotcha. And do you remember who you spoke with in any of those follow-ups or anything like that before the August order?
Yes, I do.
Who was that?
Nobody really contacted me until July.
Okay. Who was it who contacted you?
Brandon, or the husband, I believe.
Okay. And did you meet him?
Oh, yes, of course.
Is this the person that you met?
Yes.
And you were aware that he was shopping it around with 7 other window places, correct?
Yes, they usually tell me that, hey, you're just one of many bidders.
Okay. And in this instance, you knew that to be the case, correct?
Well, sometimes people say that, and that isn't the case, but I always expect that.
You were told that, I guess I should say.
Yes.
Okay. And this was this in January when you first came out and measured, that you found that out?
There was more communication in July.
Okay. Did you find out about other potential competitors in January when you came out to measure?
No.
He has a hard time answering the question. He's trying to answer what he thinks you're going after.
Okay, that's fine. And so we're talking about triple pane glass, and you indicated there's a 30% energy reduction, and there's certainly a noise component to it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in January of 2022, he was talking to you about noise, correct?
No.
Okay. He told you you wanted triple pane, correct?
No.
Okay, so what was your quote that you based off of?
The initial quote was for the double pane energy glass window, a more of our standard style window.
And that was what you went out on January 2022 to sell him?
Yes, that's what I went out to quote, and I think they believe they got the quote like early February.
Okay, and that was the quote was for double pane.
Double pane.
And it was increased to triple pane.
Yes.
Okay. And when you were talking about the quotes, was there any discussion of the pathway of Dulles Airport going over their house?
No.
Okay. Was there any discussion of a fire house right next to their house? Anything like that?
No, not to my knowledge.
So there was no discussion about noise at all?
There was a discussion of what would be the benefits in July of if somebody got a triple pane window and the cost associated with it.
Okay, but the specific noise, was there any discussion about that?
Not that I recall.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
All right, redirect. All right, is this witness subject to recall? Is this witness subject to?
He is not, Your Honor.
No? Okay, you're free to go, sir. Thank you, have a good day. All right, your next witness?
I don't think the science
Judge, that
holds up.
would be Amy Shotwell.
Amy Shotwell?
I don't think the science holds up that an extra pane of glass makes it 33% quieter and 33% more efficient. That math doesn't add up for me. Windows have STC ratings, and a triple pane I don't think works like that. It might sound good for a salesman to say on the showroom floor, but I don't think that's science. Yeah, I think he just committed perjury. Well, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know. It's between the panes, like argon gas or something. If you can get vacuum, like a vacuum pulled between the panes of glass, that would be really effective at dropping sound.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law? Thank you.
I've got a buddy that's a window installer. So he's taught me a thing or two. Cindy, enjoy the moment. Thanks for gifting 5 memberships. Super generous.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name and occupation for the court report?
Yes, Amy Shotwell. I work at Silver Eagle Group in Ashburn.
All right. How long have you worked at Silver Eagle Group?
Since 2012.
Okay, so taking you back to February 24th of 2023, in the 3 to 4 months preceding February, were you employed at Silver Eagle?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do there?
Okay.
I should.
It makes it so much
I
worse.
am a manager. I'm the responsible party on the business's federal firearms license and the custodian of records for that purpose.
All right, and so did you provide us with some records for this case? Okay, I'm going to ask the court to please admit Commonwealth's 159 into evidence.
Any objection to 159?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 159 in evidence.
All right, Ms. Shotwell, if you'll take a look at these documents, I'm going to scroll through them.
Bite me, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Hope you're feeling better.
Do you recognize these documents?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with number 1. What do we have here? A firearms transaction record. What does this tell us?
This is a federal form that is completed when a prospective purchaser of a firearm wants to take possession of it from a dealer. So it's a transaction between a dealer and an individual to purchase a firearm.
Okay.
Used to just take a
looking
handshake.
Here at page number 7, is that a continuation of that transaction record?
That is the background check that is used in conjunction with the federal form.
Okay. All right, and here on page 11, what do we have? Is this a record from your company?
This is a record from our check-in software at our front desk for customers who come in to use the range.
Okay, and so whose record is this?
Brendan Banfield.
Okay, and these check-in dates, are those the number of times that he appeared at your range?
Presumably.
Okay, and what do people do at your range? What type of range is it?
Firearms shooting?
Okay.
Okay.
And we can see that he was present on October 29th and then again December 23rd, both in 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What is this document here?
That is the receipt of payment for a firearm in conjunction with the federal form that you first showed me.
Okay, so this is a purchase for a Glock 43X pistol, is that correct?
Yes.
And that purchase was made on what date?
January 28th, 2023.
Thank you. All right, and we have another visit detail. Who is this one tracking the visits of?
Juliana Perez.
Okay, and she appeared on those same dates as Mr. Banfield, is that correct? October 29th and December 23rd of 2022?
It appears so.
All right. In your search of your business records, did you come across any record indicating that Christine Banfield had used the firing range?
I did not.
Or any record that Christine Banfield had accompanied her husband to use the firing range?
I did not find a record under that name.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination?
Good afternoon, Ms. Shotwell.
Good afternoon.
My name is John Carroll. If I ask any questions you don't understand, just let me know, please.
Mr. Carroll, could you raise your microphone up a little bit? You're just a little taller than
Yes,
the stands.
yes.
Thank you.
Who's Samuel Hummel?
He was an employee at Silver Eagle Group on the date that the firearms transaction occurred.
And he's because it says
Did he get fired?
on one of the forms that you were just looking at and you identified that he was the firearm transferor, correct?
He was the representative of the business. So the business information is on one of the pages above his name as well. But yes, he was the employee who assisted.
And he's no longer there?
Correct, he's in Texas.
Okay, so the actual details of the firearm transaction, if my client were to say why he got it, anything like that, that wouldn't show in those records.
Why your client purchased a firearm?
Yeah,
There's
why,
no
or
reason.
any sort of discussion that went along with that.
There's none of that information included in that paperwork.
Gotcha. And the entrance, and I guess there's no exit, there's just entrance records. That just shows from a computer printout that these are the days that these people went there, correct?
Yes.
And in order to find out if somebody else had gone with them on a certain date, we'd have to tell you what name and then try to line them up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you were requested to get the records for Juliana Perez Magalhaes and my client, correct?
Yes.
And so that's why those actions connect up.
Yes.
Now, would you have any knowledge as to whether the new firearm that was purchased in the purchasing record was ever used by Brendan Banfield or Juliana Perez Magalhaes?
No, I would not have that
There would
information.
be no information to that?
Correct.
Okay.
George Grace, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much for your support.
Would you have recognized my client?
No.
Okay, so you're just strictly the documents and these are the records and this is that. Okay.
Correct.
Well, I won't ask any questions you're not going to have the answers for. So thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, redirect?
No, ma'am.
All right, I assume she's not subject to recall.
She is not subject to
Okay.
recall. Thank you.
You're free to go. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your next witness?
We're keeping your documents, though. You can leave.
Go forth and conquer.
Judge, it's going to be, Douglas Gudekunst.
Okay.
Go forth and conquer, she says.
Do you have any exhibits? Okay, cool.
All right. I won't ask any questions you don't have answers for. Famous last words. I heard boo-hoo. Did you hear boo-hoost? Somebody's thinking about lunch.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Could you first please state and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Douglas Gudekunst. That's Douglas. Gudekunst,
AKUNST.
And can you tell us how you are currently employed?
I'm a fingerprint specialist with the Fairfax County Police Department.
And are you assigned to any specific division within the police department?
Yes, our section is referred to as the Novaris.
Is Novaris an acronym?
Yes, it stands for the Northern Virginia Regional Identification System.
And how long have you been a fingerprint examiner for Novaris?
It will be 8 years in February.
And has that entire period been within the employment of the Fairfax County Police Department at Novaris?
Yes.
And you examine more than fingerprints, correct?
Also palm prints.
And what are the duties of a fingerprint examiner?
We are tasked with comparing fingerprints to known samples and known samples to known samples. So to sort of decide and make decisions whether or not the two fingerprints we're looking at originated from the same finger or palm.
And can you tell us about the training that you've received in the area of fingerprint examination and identification?
I have an undergraduate in forensic science from Mercyhurst University and a graduate degree from George Mason University in the same, as well as a large number of industry-specific training courses.
And during your career, can you estimate the number of fingerprint examinations and identifications that you have engaged in?
It's not something that we track. It is easily in the hundreds of thousands.
Are you a member of any professional organizations?
I am a member of the International Association for Identification.
And have you testified previously in court?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
7, I believe, maybe 8.
And any of those times in Fairfax County?
All of them.
Have you previously been qualified as an expert in any court in Virginia in the area of friction ridge examination and comparison, also known as fingerprint examination and comparison?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
7 or 8.
And at this point, Judge, I'd move to admit Mr. Gudekunst as an expert in the area of friction ridge examination and comparison, which is also known as fingerprint identification and examination.
All right, any objection, or you want to voir dire? All right, no objection, so moved. Thank you.
Can you describe for us what a latent print is?
A latent print is a reproduction of the ridges found on the surfaces of our hands, and also our feet, but primarily our hands. When you touch an item, you leave that reproduction behind, but it's not readily visible. That's why it is latent. It needs to be processed in some way to be made readily visible.
And what does a fingerprint examiner do with a latent fingerprint?
In our office, we receive them already processed. We don't do the processing ourselves. So we receive latent fingerprint evidence from the police department. We assess them for quality. We can search them through different databases that we have access to of known fingerprints, and we can compare those fingerprints to the response list that we get, as well as compare them directly to requested subjects.
And are there any complexities in working with latent prints?
Yes, they can be very complex. They are not all automatically very good quality latent prints. When you touch something, it doesn't necessarily leave a latent print. It may. That latent print can be very small, very fragmented, very low quality, unable to visualize clearly, and different processing methods can also degrade those qualities and make them less helpful or useful.
And are there different levels of details to a fingerprint?
Yes, we classify the levels of detail that we look at in a tiered system 1, 2, and 3 in smaller and smaller granularity. Level 1 detail is an overall flow of the ridges, the pattern type. Level 2 detail is going to be independent ridge path, where we watch one particular ridge and we can see it doing a thing, either stopping or splitting. And then level 3 is going to be those even smaller than that. This ridge has a pore here, or is thick, or is thin, different characteristics on the very edge of the ridge. Those are level 3 detail.
And can you tell us what a known fingerprint is?
A known fingerprint is an intentionally recorded reproduction of the friction ridge skin on the hands, or sometimes the feet, that is taken intentionally and under controlled circumstances with traditionally ink. Modern days, most of them are done electronically, but still ink is occasionally used, where ink is applied to the hand, and then the hand is touched to the contrasting paper or the scanner with no ink. And then those are kept as a known sample of the friction ridge skin of that person.
And what do you do when you compare latent prints to known prints?
We have a process that we call ACE-V. So when we get a latent print, the first thing we do is assess or analyze that single print in isolation. Is it a fingerprint? Which way is towards the tip of the finger? What is the pattern type? How is it processed? How much detail do I see? And at that point, we usually make a decision. This is of value for comparison, or this is not of value of comparison, or it may be a limited value for comparison. Once we've assessed that print and analyzed it, we then do a side-by-side comparison. That is the C in the ACE-V, where we look for similarities and differences. We note how similar or how different the spatial relationship between this branch of a ridge is 3 ridges away from that branch of a ridge, and they're all working as a constellation together. After we've completed our comparison side by side, we weigh the information that we've discovered in that whole process. We evaluate it, the E in ACE-V, and we make a decision. Those decisions are 3 types, either an identification, and that the 2 fingerprints did originate from the same source, an exclusion, where those 2 fingerprints did not originate from the same source, or an inconclusive, where we aren't able to make either of those determinations for many reasons. Then that process, those cases are given to another qualified fingerprint examiner who verifies it, the V, which is the same process that is ACE. So it's really ACE-ACE with 2 different people, so ACE-V.
And in this case, did you receive latent prints during the investigation?
Yes, I did.
How many of those latent prints were suitable for comparison?
In the initial submission, there was multiple versions of a single latent print that were suitable for comparison.
And in this case, did you obtain known prints?
Yes, I did.
How many sets of known prints did you obtain?
I obtained 4 sets of known prints.
And did you obtain prints from Joe Ryan and Christine Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And where and when did you obtain their prints?
I obtained them at the medical examiner's office on, I believe it was February the 28th.
And how did you obtain their prints?
I went to the medical examiner's office and I used ink and paper to collect the known prints.
And the known prints, did you obtain known prints from Brendan Banfield and Juliana Perez Magliahis?
Yes.
And where and when did you obtain their prints?
I obtained those at the Fairfax County Public Safety Headquarters on March the 2nd.
And how did you obtain their prints?
Also with ink and paper.
Did you compare the latent print in this case to the known prints of Christine Banfield, Juliana Perez Magliahis, Joseph Ryan, and Brendan Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And after comparing these items, did you draw any conclusions?
Yes, I did.
With regard to Christine Banfield and Juliana Perez Magliahis, what did you conclude?
That the single latent print in this case that I looked at for this was not from either of those hands.
And with regard to Joseph Ryan and Brendan Banfield, what did you conclude?
It was inconclusive to a single finger from each of those people.
And
So,
the print that you
we
were,
got nothing?
the latent print that you were asked to compare to the known prints, where did that come from?
The item that I received is a CD with digital images on it. The digital images were titled knife and then number dash number. So this was, the one I used was knife 3-3.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions. Mr. Carroll is going to have some questions.
Cross-examination.
You got nothing. You can't tell us anything about knife.
Cross-examination.
It wasn't Juliet, and it wasn't Christine, who used the knife on herself. But as far as who it was, is inconclusive.
Good afternoon, Mr. Goodkins. Good afternoon. The known fingerprints that you received from my client was on March 2nd, 2024, correct?
I believe so.
I think that's what you just said.
Which, I don't remember if it was 24 or 23. I'd have to check the card.
I'm sorry, 23.
That makes more sense.
Okay. And you were there, my client was there, and he basically gave you access to his hands, and you took it down on a print card, correct?
More or less, yes,
so
that's correct.
The ink and the pad, and then you put it onto an actual print card or something that you work with?
Yes.
Okay. And so you had an opportunity to meet him at that time, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And was there any difficulty in getting that print from him?
No.
Okay. Now, specifically regarding the three, I guess, characterizations. I guess number one you said was a known match. What was the first?
For the conclusions, you mean?
Yes, yes.
So we have three conclusions. One of them is called an identification.
Identification.
Okay. And the other is an exclusion, and then an inconclusive, which is neither of those.
Okay. And you indicated there's numerous reasons for that, correct?
Yes.
Now, is there other than the fact that your test was inconclusive, are there other, is there anything else to draw from that other than that particular determination is that it's inconclusive?
No.
Okay. So there's no inference one way or another?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you did fingerprint analysis on other items of investigatory material in this case, correct?
There were additional fingerprints that were submitted to me, yes.
Okay. And is it fair to say that if they seek a fingerprint match or the opportunity to see if it's been identified, they would do something to get the evidence to you in order to have the known print or the latent print?
I'm not following, I'm sorry.
So for example, if there was like a safe that they wanted to check fingerprints on, would you go to the crime scene lab and get something to see, something so that you could have a latent print? I'm just asking because you had said that you went to crime scene or you went to wherever.
I went to the medical examiner's office.
Okay, the medical examiner. If there was pieces of evidence where you were asked to get fingerprints for, would you go to the crime scene to get if in fact something was there at crime scene?
No, that would fall under someone else's responsibility.
Okay, so you wouldn't be the one who did that, just in terms of the medical examiner, you would go to them.
Correct, yeah, in this case, I went to collect the fingerprints from the decedents.
So it would be incumbent on the Fairfax County Police to find the latent, put the latent into a form in which you could work with, and then you would then analyze it to determine what it was you needed in order to identify it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was there ever anything done relating to any cell phones in this case?
I don't recall ever receiving any latents from a cell phone in this case.
Okay. Were you asked to do any sort of fingerprint examination on any laptops in this case?
No.
Okay. What about a gun safe? Were you asked to do that by anyone in forensic science?
No, not in this case.
Okay. Now, were you asked to do an analysis of prints on a letter that was
Objection.
received?
What's the objection?
Judge, this goes beyond the scope of direct and assumes facts that are not in evidence.
Overruled, go ahead.
Were you asked to examine a letter as part of an investigation that would have started in around June of 2025.
Yes, I was provided with some processed letters that did exhibit friction ridge marks.
Okay. And so there were marks on there, correct?
Yes.
And were you able to identify any of those marks, or were you waiting for further from the Fairfax County Police?
I was waiting for additional known exemplars from the people that are known to have touched the letter before I continued the examination.
Okay. And did you ever receive those things?
I did not.
Okay. And so is that investigatory request just not done?
Pending.
I made it known that I needed the exemplars to continue several times. I was never scheduled to go and get them.
Now, you and I talked or had an opportunity to have a phone meeting sometime in November, I believe. Is that correct?
I don't remember if it was November, but I remember talking with you on the phone.
And that was a follow-up for one that we were supposed to have in October that I was in a trial and I couldn't get.
That sounds correct, yes.
Okay. When was the last time you heard from the detective from the Fairfax County Police regarding this particular item that needed to be examined prior to our meetings?
I reached out a couple of times. It was prior to your meetings. I don't recall the last one. I did speak with him afterwards as well.
Okay.
So after that time.
Would that have been in this year or in the last?
It would have been last year.
Okay. Would it have been around the October timeframe that we were talking?
No, because it would have been after I actually spoke with you, which
Okay.
was in November, I would think.
And did anything else get done?
Not by me.
Were you provided anything by the Fairfax County Police?
I was not.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Redirect?
Tell us about this letter and why the prosecution doesn't want it to come
And the
in.
exemplars that you were waiting for before you continued any examination of this letter. You were waiting for those exemplars from Mr. Carroll's office staff, isn't that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
And you've never been given them?
No.
Thank you.
All right, is this witness subject to recall?
What?
Nope, that's, okay.
That's subject to recall.
Witness subject to recall?
Yes.
No, Your Honor.
Is he subject to recall? Is a possibility, okay. Since you might be subject to recall, I just want to remind you not to discuss your testimony with anybody, and you're still under the rule for witnesses, okay, sir?
Okay.
Judge A says
You're free to go for today, though.
no recross allowed. You got your
All right,
one
would this be
shot.
Good time for
Lunch?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and take our lunch break then until 2 o'clock. Again, just don't do any outside research, and please don't discuss this case with anybody, okay? Thank you.
So that was spicy. The way that happened on cross-examination, defense brings up this, were you ever asked to examine this letter and, compare it? And as soon as he brings up the letter, the prosecution's like, facts not evidence, objection, stop, don't go there. He goes there and is allowed to ask about it. And he says, you were waiting for known samples of people who touched the letter so you could process this further. You never got it, did
2
you?
o'clock then, or anything else we need to discuss? We're good for 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock, Mr. Carroll? All right, 2 o'clock, thank you.
He says you were just waiting for those known samples, right? And you never got them. And I'm like, wow, this looks bad. This looks bad on the prosecution. They have something that should be tested, and you've been asked to test it, and you're not allowed to test it. You're like, hey, help me out here. I need these fingerprints, and they're not sending it. And then when the defense sits down, we're like, well, that makes the prosecution look bad. Prosecution stands up after having objected to it, asked more questions about the thing they didn't want in, and said, isn't it true that those fingerprints you were waiting for were from people in his office? Whoa! That flips the script a little bit. Now why don't we have those? It's all games. It's all games. Defense setting something up, state shot it down. Interesting. We have made it all the way to lunch, and we've made it through a lot of witnesses today. From going from Juliana yesterday, all day yesterday, just that single witness. We started with Kenner Fortner, Fairfax County Police Sergeant. She gave us the photos of the clothes, or he told us about how the au pair had moved bedrooms from downstairs to upstairs in the primary bedroom. We got Detective Owen J. Falk the fourth, careful how you say that, gave us the photos of the phones in Joe's car in the front seat. He was very quick. We got Terry Leach, Fairfax County Police Detective Major Crimes, told us about the Faro scan of the house. Didn't get to see that one. Only the jury saw that. And also got the McDonald's video, which we did get to see, and we saw all the video from McDonald's, and the 7-minute bathroom trip. What we got from him was interesting right at the end, the call log from Juliana's phone. And here's what I've got. At 7:47 a.m. on February 24th, there's a 911 call made and hung up. So a call, hang up. The same minute, 911 calls back from their dispatch office, their phone. It doesn't show 911's calling. It's got the phone number on there. They left a message saying, hey, this is 911. Got a dropped call from you. Is there any problems? Let us know. Call us back. If this was an accident, just disregard. Then, 7:48, the next minute, call canceled to 911. That means she hit call and then canceled. 7:49, call and then canceled to 911. That's twice. She's called and then hung up. And then at 8:02, so 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes later, the next call to 911 is placed, and that's when she has the 8-minute conversation with 911. So a big window between the first initial, oops, I called 911, hang up, to when she's actually ready to talk. The time between those 13, almost 15 minutes between those two calls. So quite interesting. They had 15 minutes to mess around with the crime scene, position bodies, move evidence, and all that. That was interesting with Terry Leach. After that, witness number 10, Matthew Niederreiter. He's the guy who sold the windows and didn't get to give his full sales pitch, got cut off. He's a great salesperson, I'm sure. We would have all been buying windows had he testified the way that he had planned on testifying. But instead, we just got the information about the triple pane windows and that he went out and measured everything, and it cost about $33,000 for that upgrade. Amy Shotwell, the gun range sales and document person, I forget what that's called, custodian of records, there we go, told us about the gun purchases that were made, at least the Glock 43X and then the Glock, and then the shooting range times, and two of the times that the defendant in this case showed up to do shooting, Juliana, the au pair, also showed up to the gun range to do some shooting. So those times matched up, means they were there together. That was Amy Shotwell. And then last we had Douglas Gundekunst, who's the fingerprint specialist, knows much more about ridges and friction ridges than anyone should, but unfortunately was not able to give us some solid information about whose fingerprint was on the knife. All we know is that it was not Christine's and it was not Juliana's. So that takes us to where we are right now. At lunchtime, we have 1 hour. We're going to come back at 2 o'clock. So we're going to come back actually a little early, probably about 1:50. We'll be back here. And I ask that you guys please follow the portal, jump with us, continue your conversations and chat. We'll be back here before court starts. And let me actually make sure the time's right on our restart. I've got 1:45, so that'll work. 1:45. Greeners was first in chat over there on that other side. I've pinned his. Greeners was able to type the entire alphabet with spaces in chat before any of y'all got any other chats in. So congratulations, Greeners, on that one. All right. With that, I need to be able to see my buttons so I can play the right music. There we go. All right, here we are. 15 minutes to mess around with the crime scene. Brandy Churchwell just dropped a new podcast. I was going to link that. Let's see. Buffer from Red Pen. Hello. I'm looking. Let's see. All right, I will say this. Jennifer Juniper Jennifer Juniper, one of our great members, longtime supporter of the channel, is asking for some prayers and support. Big medical events in her husband's life, lots of uncertainty. Monday is a day where they might get some more answers and understand things a little bit better. Obviously, anyone who's been through that sort of situation understands that you can use a shoulder to cry on and somebody to lean on at this time. So if you have some space in your time to think of her or pray for her or send some positive vibes her direction, she would definitely appreciate it. We sure ask that you do that. Melissa, thanks for helping pass this information as well as the mods. I'm not sure. I haven't seen what she wants to share beyond that. I think that's fairly. I think that covers it for now. Jennifer, if you want to share more, let me know. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we go live again at 1:45 this afternoon. You got 45 minutes to eat some lunch, then be back here. We do have a portal set up. Enjoy the ride. I say we have a portal set up, and I'm nervous. Please tell me it's there. Please tell me it's there. Yes, of course it's there. I set it up. Guys, we're going to see you after lunch. Bye-bye.